And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the Unrises Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. We're joined all the way from very sunny Las Vegas. Oh my God, it's Milos!
Very sunny, yeah, my ass.
Oh, is it really? Because it's cold.
But hey, listen, it's probably much warmer than in England, so I'll take it. Hi, Lauren, how you doing? Good to see you. The beautiful one. Well,
Lauren's actually, Grandma Lauren's got a blankie on her legs because she's that cold, mate.
Oh my God, yeah, that's good. That's good, actually. It speeds up your metabolism and makes you burn some body fat.
There you go. Oh, you're saying you're fat, Lauren. You're saying you're fat, Lauren. She's not listening. Story of my life. So then, Milos, mate, this is a while since I've had you on, mate, and when was the last time I had you on? I probably checked the Skype.
It's probably about a year ago, because I don't remember talking to you lately, as I have a new laptop. And I had to download the Skype right now because you reminded me that you are still using a Skype. So it has to be a year, at least.
Yeah.
I don't even remember our last conversation, but listen, it's always entertaining. You mentioned something very funny that you like to argue with me. Hey, if we all have the same opinion, then discussion will just be boring, right? Mm. So I very much value your opinion as an expert. Hey, if you have a differences, that's what makes conversation interesting.
Yeah, but I don't do it to be disagreeable for the sake of being disagreeable. I do it because we both have strong opinions because we're so involved in the sport. We love it so much. You know, we've got this history, going right back to the early 90s. And, we follow. Thing is, you were an incredible bodybuilder, but you've really, you look at your Instagram and you really follow the sport as like a super fan.
I am a super fan. And as you see, I've been posting a lot of pictures and videos. As a matter of fact, I lose quite a bit followers when I post so many in the same day. I don't care. For me, this is my Instagram page is like my photo album and a place to go to. I want to see it. I post it. I mean, if you're a true fan of bodybuilding, how would you not want to see 93 Ironman pro debut of Flex Wheeler when he was going head to head with Vince Taylor, Paul Dillette, Lila Brada, things like that. So I like to point this out. And then I follow the sport very closely. Now, like you, I never argue for the sake of argument. I would love that life is agreement, right? It's just if it's something that I have a different opinion, should I express it or just, don't mind me. I live my life. I don't care. I care. I always try to make a difference. And listen, by all means, I was wrong many times, and I admit it. But I like to have a conversation with you because maybe sometimes we have a little different perspective. I know when we talked about Nasser and Dorian and some other things, we can in a great detail. I have no problem.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's a subjective sport. You're not wrong, I'm not right, and vice versa. Do you know what I mean? It's purely opinion, and it's fun because, yes, Dorian did win that year in 97, but, a lot of people think that, and like in many contests, they think, no, I think there was a good argument for so-and-so winning or this guy winning because it is, yes, it's a judge sport, but it's subjective.
Yes, subjective, but you can bring level of objectiveness. As I was talking to Bob Cicurillo on this debate about posing and judging and everything else, there was more objectiveness when you objectively have to assess the shape, symmetry, proportion, aesthetics in the first round. So they gave you criteria. This is what we are looking for. Mm-hmm. Now judge the shape. That's a symmetry round. Okay, you have to put the finger down and write down the points. Then it was muscularity. Muscularity was 8 specific mandatory poses that they choose to present body from every angle, right? This is what we are looking for. So this is second round. Third round was not the posing, choreography, entertainment, emotional touch, whatever Sean Ray would say. Things like this, earth-shattering routine, dance, shake ass. No, as Joe Wheeler was saying, this is a posing round where you present your physique in the poses other than mandatory that glorify your body and show the strengths, hide the weaknesses, to the point that, he would even say, Milos, why do you do this pose? And it was back down biceps. I said that many times. It doesn't look good. Twisting back shot looks great. Why would you not twist it and show it? Look at Arnold. Look at Frank Zane, Sergio Oliva, first Olympia, Larry Scott, right? They all have, think of them, Google the pictures, and you're going to see every pose other than mandatory.
Yeah.
And Arnold I posted that video of him, last posing routine of Arnold Schwarzenegger, 1980 Olympia. There was not a single mandatory pose. It was flow, twisting back, mantis pose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I was saying, in a subjective sport, in in Latin language, they say, de gustibus non est disputandum. About the taste, you can discuss. You like this, I like that. Okay, it's subjective. Okay, but hey, this is a sport. And it's not just what we like, what we're supposed to like according to some criteria. And it is a physique show. So just to clarify, I told Bob Cicarilla, right now, we don't have a Mr. Olympia. We don't have any pro show. We have a Mr. 8 mandatory poses. That's all they're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And subjectiveness here, is based on those 8 mandatories. You can pull, decent look in each mandatories, but if your body is not perfect and you have to display it in many different ways, right? Now we are limiting ourselves. And on that note, let me ask you a question first. Do you think that physiques were better before or now? Shows are better before or now? Routines are better then or now? Objectively, because I'm the 90s guy, and they're going to, hey, you old farts, you always talk about your era and you have respect. I said, listen, I'm in it right now. I have many guys. I love the sport. As you know, I breed bodybuilding, but I go to the Mr. Olympia stage, the audience, and I didn't watch maybe 3 guys completely from start to the finish of routine.
Wow.
It was just like, okay. It's just like the TV show that you've seen 100 times. And you already know the lyrics and tone of voice and facial expressions and everything. They repeat mandatory poses they already did for us.
Yeah.
As an introduction, as a prejudging. Yeah. And in which sport, any sport, anywhere in the world, can you have athletes performing and not being judged? So everybody is told posing around doesn't count. So the audience go to the show at night knowing like, oh, this is just going to be a little, painful presentation of something. The guys don't even want to do it.
Yeah.
Because if you want to do it, if you're Lila Brada or Logan Franklin, when I work with him, I know what it is. He would put so much effort into finger move, into angle of the nose, breathing sequence. I mean, Jesus Christ, that was the beauty of it. So anyway, in subjective sport now, people already have their favorites. And you awakened me because I forgot about this fact. You asked one question: who was the only IBB pro to be dead last 1 year and win the show next year? Mm-hmm. And even though I was on the stage with him, I didn't realize. Okay, so that example, you can say who that was.
Charles Claremont.
Charles Claremont, yes, exactly. With at that time, 92. Converting from different federations to the IBB, right?
Yeah.
High expectations, but he didn't deliver. We know that he was rushed.
It was. Yeah, he basically got the opportunity. He said, "Okay, then you can go jump federations." He had 6 weeks, and I interviewed him, and he said, "I didn't really want to be there, but I just did it. That obviously wasn't his best, so that was the reason, really, for the discrepancy between the 2 years." But it also, Eduardo Coac did it. once in, I think, 83 to 84. But it was a small lineup the one year, and then he came back at the show the year after. So I think I'll have to go and double check that. But I'm sure I read, because I was trying to see if this had ever happened before. And also, Al Beckles, 1990 to 91, Niagara Falls. He went from last to first.
Oh, I was at that show. He beat me on that one. He was 61 years old at that show. I beat him.
Crazy.
I beat him week before at my pro debut, San Jose, and then we went there. 91 years old. He's 1930. I had his passport.
Wow.
People are saying no, he wasn't. It's
you confirmed it.
Yeah.
Wow, because there's always been like arguments saying, he wasn't 61. If you check this age, he's not. So you can that's cool. That's cool to know.
We were in the European Grand Prix tour, and there was a moment they're supposed to get passports from everybody to give it to Wayne D'Amelia because we were in the bus. And then, of course, let me check.
I love it.
He was older than my father, right? He said, Albert, you're not shut up.
Wow.
So he actually didn't want people to know. And you know what? Sonny Schmidt did the same thing. Sonny didn't want to claim his age because he said if he would say it, he was over 40, already competing initially. He would think that people would look at him differently and judge him differently. So I understand that. Yeah.
Milos, can I quickly touch on something you said? Because I know, obviously, I haven't watched it. This debate between you and Bob Chick about, like you've been saying at the start, about bringing back the pose and routine round. It should be scored. The first thing that popped into my head that basically strengthened your side of the argument was if that wasn't scored, I mean, think about Dorian Yates. His physique looked its best in all the 8 mandatories. That's when his physique came together. You take him at his best, Flex Wheeler at his peak, at his best, he actually looked his best in the pose and routine in the non-mandatory poses, like all the floor poses and all the overhead classic poses. That's when his physique became as competitive and could really go to Dorian. But the thing is, like you said, it's a show that's judged upon 8 mandatories. So that's the strength for your argument for the posing round being judged, because then someone like a Flex Wheeler, who might be at his best, could then really compete with the Dorian.
Yeah.
As an example.
So, on that note, perfect example you brought. Okay, even though I'm offended that you didn't watch my debate, you know better that you would find some good info over there. But anyway, so when you have your cardio or whatever else, and it's entertaining. But here, last show of Lee Haney won a symmetry round and posing round.
Yeah.
Dorian won muscularity round. Okay, so if there was today's judging, when, as Bob Chiquito said, they just, everything is being judged, they just blended in. I say, Bob, who are you kidding? You don't. When you have to put the number on, symmetry, aesthetic shapes, and Bob Chiquito on this Olympia TV moment when Derek Lansford was coming on stage, he was like, stop right there, freeze the frame, look at this silhouette, look at this shape. It can tell you so much more about aesthetic shape proportions, and this round should be judged out of his mouth. And I freeze it and say, okay, you are the one that suggested not to be judged because, best physique wins. We just, put it together. So it's not bodybuilding show. Let's talk about any aspect of anything. A house across the street that I'm watching, a car. If we have 3 filters, specific filters, or just generalize it. Okay, we generalize it. If you're looking from aesthetic standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Symmetry round back in the day, that brought guys like me and Sean and Flex and, more aesthetic guys, Charles Claremont.
Yeah.
Okay. Around that we can maybe get ahead a little bit because of our shape. Okay. Then you choose muscularity round where you're supposed to judge muscles in this specific poses, which supposed to show from the front, X-frame, V-taper, picking biceps, hanging triceps, sweeping thighs, all that shit, right? Side chest. So they choose this 8 specific poses. But then, third round is best described by Joe Weider, father of bodybuilding, the guy that brought this. Now it's the beauty of a bodybuilding. It's not posing around. It's a physique round. Now we're talking about Flex Wheeler with his poses. Dorian in the mandatories. Dorian was master of mandatories. I mean, every single pose he perfected.
He was made for the mandatories. His physique came together beautifully at its best in every single one of those poses. That's where I think he really. That was his gift, really.
So that's Mr. Olympia 8 mandatories. It's not Mr. Olympia best physique in the world.
That's right.
I mean, and this is where we're talking. So I mean, literally, okay, Lauren is maybe not in bodybuilding like you and I, but if you ask her about, think of 5 best poses of Arnold Schwarzenegger, which you're going to think, twisting back.
Twisting back. Go on, Lauren.
Yeah.
Go on.
Mantis pose.
That one?
The
two arm. Tricep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the one with the fists, the side chest fists. Sorry,
Okay, how about the Frank Zane?
Yeah.
How about Frank Zane?
Yeah, overhead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vacuum. This one, right? How about Sergio Oliva? Ooh. The back in the day was not a mandatory, the most muscular, especially the way he does it.
Yeah,
then twisting back with one arm. The twisting front double biceps. I mean, the Larry Scott. Just think about. And when you go in the history of bodybuilding, Serge Nobret, that front triceps and also poses. That was the beauty of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are purposely taking away the beauty from. We're not going to judge your symmetry, which first round was just stand there, front, side, back. If you even listen to some of the videos, I just posted 2-3 days ago, myself and Sean Ray at Olympia 97, and Jim Mannion calling, feet together, hands by your sides. Okay, the first round, symmetry round, is show us 3 angles, don't pose. Okay, you're just assessing your physique, front, side, back. Now, mandatory is pose as I tell you, and third, pose as you want me to see you. But now is no symmetry round, even though they do those turns, and it's considered. What do you mean it's considered? Like, how much is considered? Like 20% of that final score? You just blend it in. If you have to call it, and you call it, all of a sudden, aesthetics in bodybuilding is going to be dramatically improved.
Yeah.
Okay. We lost the aesthetic component because of it. Then before, when you come out, they call the pose, front of a biceps, spread, blah, blah, blah. Then they change it into a 1 minute. Okay, but in that 1 minute, you can do anything, but you have to show all 8. I have arguments with Bob. He says, no, Milos, you don't have to hit all 8. I said, Bob, I was told my athlete, like first year when I was implemented, did not hit one pose, 8 minutes. Make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Bob says, oh, it's your minute. You can do 8 most musculars for old daycare. I said, for example, if they do 8 most musculars, what are you showing? Nothing. Okay. And then if you go back on the posing routine, which everybody does, they do just mandatories again. How exciting this is for the audience.
Yeah.
I've already seen you. Can you show me a little bit of effort you put to choreograph and presented your strength? So impress us.
Look, I was so impressed with the improvements Nick Walker made, because remember when he won the New York Pro, he basically came out, he hit his compulsories, most muscular walked off. At the Olympia, I'll be honest, I was expecting the same, and he put together floor poses, it looked like a proper choreographed routine. And mate, I was so impressed by that. It stuck in my mind.
So what do you think judges would do? Encourage or discourage athletes to do their better or worse by saying it's going to be judged or it's not going to be judged? What are they going to do to the audience? Please the audience by making a better effort. Yeah. Okay. Listen, if you lose the goddamn show because you didn't practice and you don't show your strengths, and you already show me these 8 mandatories. You're judged for these 8 mandatories. Yeah. You got anything else? Show me what you got. Okay. Now is that tiebreaker. Now is this when you can make it interesting for the audience. for the media, I mean, if right now we have a special, okay, CNN, BBC, Netflix, whatever, and you and I want to make the video introducing people to bodybuilding, beauty of a bodybuilding, and we want to, find some good footage of good bodybuilders with the good routines that's going to represent us. They're going to, glue some ladies that never seen anything and watch Bob Paris or Leela Brada, or Vince Taylor, Maccabi, or whatever, Sean Ray, Melvin Anthony's routine, or anybody from this year's Olympia or last 10 years Olympia. What are they going to choose?
Yeah.
But say it, you are now an asshole, and I am. I'm telling you. I mean, say it like it is. Tell the truth. Let's improve. Is this improvement by keep saying, posing is not going to be judged? So I have my athletes, okay, as you know, and I go to them. Show me a free posing routine. I don't have one.
Oh. Ooh.
Right?
Well, I bet one guy doesn't say that to you.
This is what's happening in all these years.
I know.
don't have one.
It really, really annoys me, actually. It actually angers me.
Yeah. Oh, why would I have one? Okay, so
like, what's the point?
Right now we go to the school and we have to pass exams for physics and chemistry, but math is not being scored.
Yeah.
Are we going to study math? It's a human nature. We're not going to do it. Shit.
Milos, obviously one of the first most burning topics I want to talk about. Firstly, congratulations on what you did with Samson, because I predicted, but I mostly hoped that he would be first call out, and I said 5th to 8th. So I have to thank you for getting him exactly where he deserved to be, because what an amazing job, and you must be happy. Now, I want to talk about the Arnold Classic, because I saw that update he posted today on Facebook and Instagram. To me, his conditioning and certainly his leg separation looks as good as it did at the Olympia. Am I seeing things, or is that correct?
Yeah, you're correct. I have a whole video. I wish, but out of respect, always, I just let him post what he wants to post. Yeah, we were analyzing this, and put it this way, when he was impressed, the best thing is when you see your own body and say, oh shit, so he was impressed. He knows. I mean, him and Marlena is a team for many, many years. She sees him day in, day out. I think that you are expert of Samson's physique. I mean, many times I like to hear updates from you because you've seen him before. You know exactly as far as size and fullness and angles, and then conditioning. I remember sending all those pictures before, like Egypt and Romania. For you to give me your assessment. So let's focus on Olympia first, right? Everybody knew that Samson has this beautiful shape, round muscle bellies, reminiscent to Sean Roden and Flex Wheeler. There are always comparisons with different guys, right?
A bit of Chris. I think there's a bit of Chris Cormier in there as well. If you look at the quad separation and all that, there's just little hints. I think just to throw that in there.
There's many, right? And for me, since I started working with him, I told him, Samson, I was your fan. First time I've seen you, I just wanted to see a little bit more width, a little bit more shoulder, a little bit more lats, things like that. And this is happening, right? But it's no. You see, people who say, Milos, you guys are so full of shit. You didn't know how much he weighs. I said, I promise you. Last thing that we did was when he blew up to 330, 150 kilos, you remember?
Yeah.
And
Can't believe
he
it.
Did we were stepping on the scale because, I was pushing. And he was like already uncomfortable, but I'm looking, body's exploding, and it's not getting fat. Oh, should we slam on the brakes? If you're cruising on the road and everything is beautiful, why would you slam on the brakes? Just because this fast?
I like that. Yeah.
I mean, shit, we all like speed. So he was growing so much, but now is, time to, drop it down. So this initial First couple of weeks, he dropped like 5 kilos, right,
Yeah.
right away, which is like 11 pounds. And I could see that it was like affecting him, maybe, right? And then there was all these talks from people around the industry. Oh, that's just temporary, bloat. My methods. It's temporary volumization is going to go away. It's not real muscle and shit like this. So I said, Samson, I could care less how much you weigh.
Yeah.
Let me see. And I promise on everybody that means anything to me, I had zero clue until Monday. They came to Las Vegas. We posed and then we trained. And then his wife goes like, do you know how much she weighs? And I said, oh, just see him. He looks huge. First thing that I told him, videos, pictures, FaceTime doesn't do you justice.
They don't. Milos, sorry to interrupt. When I was at his house, because Marlenka, because I was staying in the spare room, and he does those posing right by the treadmill and at the top of the stairs. Like, I was stood physically next to him. I could touch him in the shoulder, and Marlenka had the phone up, and I was looking at the phone, even though Samson was there, and I was like, it's like video doesn't do him justice. You have to, he was stood there physically, and to me, he looked exactly what he said he weighs at that time. He looks like a 310, 320 guy. But I tell you what, when you see him on video, or until you see him on stage, that's when you realize. I think at the Arnold Classic last year, I think that was a good show to do, because when he stood next to Justin Rodriguez, next to Brandon Curry, that's when you realized, oh my God, he's actually not just an aesthetic guy, he's a big, big guy.
Yeah, that's exactly. And explain me that. I'm watching and live, and then look at the camera, and that's supposed to be like high technology iPhone, supposed to be like 4K, whatever. What happened from there to here?
Yeah.
Right? But you mentioned Brandon Curry at the Arnold Classic. You see, I was saying this right there and then. If he was stood next to Brandon Curry, even in the Arnold Classic, he would give him hell.
Yeah.
But that, he didn't. So this is how it is. They put him away, so like he was not even considered. Now that they put him right next to him, a lot of people, us, saw him winning and beating. This is how it is. Mm-hmm. But he was 294.6 pounds depleted. Like, holy shit. But then he picked the number and he told me, hey, I'm standing right next to Big Ramy.
Yeah.
I said, this is like Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, 2001 Olympia, when nobody expected Jay. He can even come close to Ronnie, but he was standing right.
Yeah.
So I told Samson, okay, you cannot possibly be overlooked now, okay? Mm-hmm. And because of course, Big Ramy, direct comparison, maybe I have to confess a little bit, like I went for a full look. We need to be full, right? To stand next to Big Ramy. And listen, it worked perfectly, because for the first time ever, somebody contested Ramy in size. It was not like Ramy standing. I remember last time Ramy competed at Arnold Classic, William Boniak and Dexter beat him. He was third.
2020.
But, right? Yeah, 2020.
2020, yeah.
When we looked, I was with Mauro Sassi, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were, and we are looking just silhouettes. Dexter and William look as wide together as, almost.
Yeah, you did.
I'll never forget this.
I was there, yeah.
Yeah, but Samson, like, he stood next to Ramy, boom, opened up to the side. Everything was happening. So right there and there, I knew. Could he be slightly better conditioned? Yes. And if he did, could he move even further? Yes, I absolutely believe. So my point that I didn't make it, because my mind goes all over the world. I speak 2,000 words an hour, trying to say as much as I can. This is what it is. People don't consider, right, that guy that plays 6 to 7 has a business beating guys that are second and third. Like, it's not even contest. So these YouTube comments, and when I say, oh yeah, of course Samson can beat Nick, it's like laughing stock of a nation.
No, I'm agree. I agree.
It's impossible. Okay, so I said it's impossible. It was impossible that Hunter Labrada last year beat Nick Walker. On which merits did Hunter beat Nick 2021 Olympia that Samson could not beat him in 2022?
Yep.
Tell me. Explain to me, right? But people are just like this, they're so myopic and narrow. Oh, if I beat you once, that's it. We mentioned 97 Olympia that Nasser, for me, should beat Dorian.
Yep.
97 England, week later, Chris Cormier and Cannavone beat Nasser.
Yep.
Okay?
That's right.
Just 1 week later.
He was third.
8 at Olympia, and Ramy was 9th. And, so people don't understand. Even Ramy placing 5th. It's a top 5 in the world, one of the top 5 best physiques. It's like this different, right?
So can I ask, sorry, quickly interject, where did you have Samson? Because personally, I had him a solid 5th. I had Ramy 6th. I think maybe if he'd have been sharper, then maybe he could have took Brandon and Nick and given maybe really given them a really serious run for their money.
Yeah, I know I know your view, and you didn't see Samson beating Nick and Brandon. I saw him definitely beating Brandon. And the first thing that I said in that interview that you had with Jose and Ron, after I see you guys, I asked you a specific question. I was being a smart ass. I didn't say Samson deserved to beat Nick, but I asked, how can Nick's physique beat Samson's physique, if you remember? That's how I formulated the question on purpose. And Jose picked it up right away on conditioning. Okay. So if it's only conditioning, and how much of conditioning?
Yes.
So when you look, you see there are different aspects. Everybody just filtered through one filter. In conditioning, there are so many filters in conditioning. First, okay, how lean you are, how thin skin is you have, right? How hard you are, how dry you are, how full you are, interstellar hydration. There are many, many aspects. And then if every aspect of this conditioning brings the best out of your physique, which means, if your fullness really shape up your physique into the new picture of wow, then let's go for the fullness.
Yeah.
If dryness now contribute to wow factor, then let's go for a dryness. But there is a lot of simplified people in here that just conditioning is conditioning, dry. Okay, dryness and you win. And really, when you speak to the athletes, they always go, I just want to be dry. I just want to be dry.
I spoke to Samson. We had him on last week, and he was saying, he said, people were saying, oh, just get shredded, get dry. And he's like, well, I'm trying. It's not like we're not trying it. At the end of the day, so then he does get 5%. I suppose this is the conundrum you face when you bring him in. Like you said, he's going to be next to Ramy. I want to bring him in full because he's got to hold size-wise. There is a gamble that if you bring him in drier and not as full, then maybe he loses that pop to his physique. But then Jose said, yeah, but Samson's one of those guys that, you can put him on. Remember the 2-egg breakfast? And I stayed at his house and we had the same meal. I went to bed hungry and we had the same meal. He had a couple of pieces of sea bass and a bit of salad. He cooked it on his grill outside. And I went to bed hungry, and I'm 100 pounds less than Samson. So I suppose that's what you're faced with. Do we bring him in a little bit drier? Because he, Boston Pro arguably was better conditioning, but he didn't look quite as full and impressive, say, as he did at Olympia. So is this what you're faced with when you prep someone like a Samson, where you're trying to figure what's best for his physique and his body type?
100%. I mean, by definition, what would coach and athlete supposed to bring their best? That's why I say gauge what is your best.
Yeah.
If you sacrifice
that's my
this
point.
for that,
That's my point.
So, and you're a fan of Samson. All 2018, 19, 20, right? It's a beautiful shape, round muscle bellies, superhero look, right? He still need wider. He needs to fill up round up those shoulders,
Chest
right?
and back, shoulders. Yeah.
Things like that, right? Now, when he is, everybody's talking, that's perfect physique, no flaws. Everything is there. Now he's just, okay, shredded. So I'll tell you this. When you look at the Derek Lansford, there was shocker, right? Conditioning on shoulders, biceps, triceps, chest, abs of Derek was not 1 micro percent better than Samson's. He was great from the back, and from the side, the legs, quads, back, all there. But you look at overall conditioning.
Do you think people get distracted by the glutes and hams? Because it's like even Ramy, like his glutes and his hams were really good condition, but the rest of his body wasn't. And Derek Lunsford's got those crazy glutes and hamstrings and everything's dug out and deep. But like you said, the chest, it was lacking. He knows he could be better in those areas with a bit more thickness and detail.
It's accepted that if you have a striated glutes, you're ripped.
Yeah, okay. I have a problem with that.
You're not ripped until you have a striated glutes.
Yeah.
And I encourage you. I just found, I posted yesterday, my 94 Olympia. I was peeled out of my mind. I posted it. It's on Instagram. I put it on top. I had no skin. I mean, it was like, and I still didn't have a striated glutes. I have a striated feathers down my quads and chest and shoulders and all that stuff. I just don't have it, And so if I would try to get that, I would strip down, not even to the man's physique, but down to bikini, right? To try to get. So you don't need it. Yeah. But point that you made, what brings back. So what are we saying about Big Ramy slipping from first to fifth? Oh, he was not full enough. Okay? So the general assessment from all the experts, including, Dennis James or maybe his coach, Chad, and, he was not full. Okay? So you've seen the striated glutes on Big Ramy. And initially when he came out, abs were quite tight and things were happening, right? Initial impression, and then you try dissecting. But, also, you are also known that I always listen to determine, this competitor was flat. He was flat, right? And flat as I'll mark you down for your flatness, right? Had you been full, I would judge you differently. Yeah. Is this? I mean, you do this yourself, right? So for me, going into the Arnold Classic, I know that Nick just have that freaky thin skin. I was as a fan and in Dragon's Lair. I've seen him there, and I had to touch his skin. Right? It was like, holy shit! Like try to touch the table, nothing.
Yeah.
And then he was doing arms, and I remember back in '83 when I touched John Brown's arm.
Wow.
I just have to say, it's super impressive.
Yeah.
This is what bothered me, because people think like, I'm a Nick hater, and I love Nick, and I take my hat off to him in many aspects, right? But I said this, it used to be a bodybuilding as a sport, now is a muscle building. Now is muscle building, 8 mandatory poses, and in this new sport, he can win pretty much every show, right? It's in a muscle building, 8 mandatory pose bodybuilding show. In bodybuilding, which is supposed to be judged and appreciated, he wouldn't. So that's my point. But I'm not a judge.
For me, in say similar conditioning, I don't see where Nick would ever beat someone like a Samson. I just from my point of view, honestly, I appreciate the mass, but for me, Nick's got too many bits missing. The chest lacks. I don't like the midsection. The quads, kind of the femurs, which he can do nothing about, look short to me. But, I can appreciate the riddle bicep and the arms and everything. But I don't, when I look at someone like a Samson, I said to Samson actually last week, I said, look, Samson, some guys have to pose a certain way to look aesthetic. They hit a pose, they angle their body like the classic guys do, and their flow just comes together. I said, you could be stood on stage scratching your ass and you look aesthetic. I said, even when you're moving from transition to transition, like you can't hide the fact that you are truly balanced and aesthetic. It's like it is. It's like artistic, you know. It's a physique that's been properly thought out.
So here it is. I'll put you on the spot.
Go on then.
Perfect.
Come on, man.
Because you said, well, this is perfect. Listen, I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Because I know that you're an expert. You live and breathe bodybuilding just like I do. You analyze and everything. First thing that I asked you guys after Olympia, how can Nick's physique beat Samson's physique? And you didn't answer. And you said originally you saw him fifth. You didn't see him beating Nick or Brandon, okay?
Yeah.
Just now, 2 minutes ago, when you rewinded, you're going to say, okay, if it's similar condition, Samson beat Nick in your book anytime. Okay, so here it goes. What kind of difference in condition actually you think it was on the stage between Nick and Samson as far as how lean and how dry they were? You would say, oh, Nick appeared, because he has that appearance. Look, Andrew Jack appears more ripped than he is because I was always appearing. 94 video that I post, I was super dry, super ripped. Yeah. Many times later, I know I can get away with the deep separation and the kind of hardness that I have, that I'm going to appear leaner than I am. You know, my skin, you could actually still grab it. But Samson, okay, was super lean. There's not, we talk about this thicker skin, you know, the appearance, and he's going to go crazy. Milos, don't say this again. You know, it's not even, you have to just point out something. Why he doesn't appear, you know, as ripped. So you have to have low levels of body fat, but then you have to have those tie-ins that, you know, really blends in. So you see the tie-in between shoulders and the biceps and brachialis and the tricep, right? And then you can have this striated, feathered shoulders and chest and, you know, things like this. So that also comes with maturity, and it's a lot of genetic part. But I promise you, if there was some scientist, they're going to measure how much intercellular hydration, how much exercise, how much water was he holding outside the muscle under the skin, him and Nick. You think it was much? It was very comparable.
Yeah, possibly.
So when you say now, Samson's physique beat his physique any day, but it didn't because, Nick appeared more conditioned.
Yeah, and just a little bit thicker and freakier. And I knew that they would have placed that well. But to be honest, like people say, oh, Samson needs to get bigger and bigger. Like last year, I thought Samson needed more chest and back. For me, I mean, I know Phil Heath said on the Boston Pro live stream, he said, I think Samson could do a bit more shoulders. Yes, the shoulders did improve, but they didn't look like a weakness to me last year. The chest and back did look like a weakness. He has brought those up. In fact, his chest came up first, and then for the Arnold, I felt, and then I felt for the Olympia. In fact, I think his chest now is the most evenly developed chest in the industry. Like his upper chest, inner chest, out, it's like perfectly developed. But I felt like if Samson was to become the perfect version of Samson, imagine him with like peak Bonac level separation. That to me, no one's beaten that.
Yeah.
No one.
Well, Bonac, and this is very interesting because we were backstage at the Boston Pro. Oh my God, Bonac is such a gentleman. So, I mean, so for example, if you remember on the prejudging, Samson came out kind of not oily enough, dry.
That's right.
Yeah. We used, Marlena used a whole bottle, and he was so perfectly oiled up. And in a 2-minute wait until he would step on the stage, it disappeared. Oh my God. So for the finals, I promise you, Oscar. So for the finals, the same thing. Okay, we are there. And then even Boniak was there. Hey, Milos, make sure. Yeah. So we are there. And the same thing, because from backstage, I had like a good 2-minute walk to get to the audience to watch it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just about to leave. And Boniak calls me, Milos, come back. Look at Samson. And he was drying out again. And I said, Milana, we need more oil.
Did he?
I mean, yeah, this is kind of thing. But I was saying this about what a competitor and what a gentleman Boniak is. So then I was there next with Regan Grimes, and we looked, and I swear, Boyniak doesn't even do nothing. It just like move like this, right? Move like this. And you could see chest fibers going, and the shoulders and the biceps, and so we actually had to touch it. He's holy shit. But listen, it sounded like he was dramatically more conditioned and leaner and drier.
Yeah.
Samson. It's just that's that hardcore muscle density from years of pounding and genetics.
Yeah.
So there are some, genetic limitations. So going into the Arnold Classic, you have to bring more conditioning because it's expected, and that's all they're going to talk about. You hear, if Samson is conditioned, nobody touches him. Okay? If you're more conditioned. So what level of condition do you expect? Dry to the bone, striated glutes? Or go ahead.
But like I said at the start, that video, the picture he posted today, if you look at the comment, I wrote a comment and I said, your quad separation there looks better, as good as it did at the Olympia, and that's 4 weeks out. So that's why I'm feeling very optimistic for what he can bring. Because like you said, if you get all the boxes, he's ticking all of them at the moment. I mean, really with everything now. His physique comes together in the compulsory. He's brought everything up. The balance is there. The size is there. The X frame. He's not lacking anything. I feel like that kind of level of separation, if he brings that to the stage all over, I feel like then we're really, really talking. I think he would take out Nick. So
yeah, Nick is a huge favorite, of course. Listen,
of course he is. Yeah.
This is why I want to define it for all these people who think I'm Nick hater. No, Nick has a strong mandatories. The many poses, but still, from an aspect of balance, right there, up and over, front and back. V-taper X-frame, right there. I mean, you can pick him apart.
Yeah.
Yes, he's impressive, but okay, what are you looking? Are you scanning just the body parts and the first impression, or are you scanning, analyzing, and judging? Okay, that's why I'm saying it's not best physique wins. Define what is best physique. This is what I would like to ask the judges. Okay, define if this is best physique, okay, on merits of what? Shape, balance, proportion, symmetry, aesthetics. Did you judge that? Oh, yeah, it's blended in. How do you blend that in with muscularity, right? And then what, you're going to just judge the mandatories. You don't judge the twisting back shot, kneeling shot, mantis shot, whatever shot. This is what it's supposed to be. And this is what's going to bring more interest to the audience and bring the higher level of presentations. These professionals right now are discouraged to practice posing. Don't. I mean, literally speaking, am I wrong if I'm saying that they are told, repeat your mandatories at final show? Who cares? Who cares for the audience? Who cares for the photographers, for the sport? Bodybuilding, to bring back the beauty, just do 8 mandatories. 8 mandatories, that's all you need.
How many pose routines do you remember from the Olympia? Because I certainly remember Samson's, and I just think, regardless of whether it's judged or not, I mean, you can see that Samson clearly sees it as a matter of pride, and the fact that he's got those 2-3 minutes to present his physique, and he does it so beautifully, and the emotion. He reminds me of kind of like Kevin Navrone, Vince Taylor, like you said, the hand movements and the transitions, and it's just, to me, it's just like, why would every pro that's actually capable of doing something like that not do that? It's just madness. It's madness to me, mate.
Kevin, I think he had like a 7-minute routine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Choreographed.
I mean, don't you? I mean, seriously, I'm overhearing this. Many pros. I don't want to name the names because they always get so sensitive. Oh, I don't like posing.
Tough.
It's like me being a football player and saying, I don't like to throw football. I don't like to catch football. And guess what? In the football, that's what you're going to be doing. Okay? In the bodybuilding, you're going to be posing. So you don't like it? Oh, so you don't like your job? Oh, so you don't want to actually present what you built so hard for and dieted your ass off to look certain way. So, hey, people, I want to compete. I don't want to just look for myself like this in the mirror on the beach for my wife. You know, I actually want to compete against the best in the world. And I don't like to pose. I mean,
Milos, regardless whether it's judged, it does make you more competitive. Look at Kai Green. I mean, he was more competitive because of it. You can't say that it doesn't. I mean, I don't care whether it's judged or not. I always say to athletes, are you telling me that doesn't make you more competitive if it's really close? Or if it, what about things like fan base and stuff like that? Anyway, we could debate this all day long, mate. I want to quickly ask you about Ramy. I mean, I was personally shocked to hear that he was doing the Arnold Classic, and now hearing about all this stem cells, which, as you know, takes a couple of years to really take effect. What's your feelings on Ramy doing the Arnold? Do you think it's a good move?
Yeah, okay. Mixed feelings. Yes, I do think it's a good move. I know initially even I said, I think in an interview with you after the Olympia, that, yeah, because of these injuries, I can't see him fixing that.
No.
And therefore, should you encourage him to compete? I was under impression, probably not. Now, because people think it's catastrophic. From the first, he went down to fifth. I mean, he's still beating Samson, Dauda, and Labrada, and Andrew Jack, and top pros and up and comers, superstars, making, right? He even beat them still, right? So he's going on the stage. The only guy he lost from is going to be Nick Walker, and I'm sure that he's going there for redemption, right? He believes that he can fix the fullness part. I
don't see it as fullness, though. For me, as soon as he came out, I was like, what's happened to his triceps? What's happened to his lower lats? Where's the gastrocnemius? They can't fix that. You can't bring those back by just coming in fuller, surely.
Yes, and part of me, of course, agree with you. But part of me, you see, I never discourage anybody to compete because I competed 110 times. I have guys that compete. Oh, you want to compete? Yes. Competition is a deadline. Brings everything up a notch. Yeah. So instead of, wait 1 year, maybe do one more Olympia, Ramy. No, you had all this size going into the Olympia. I mean, there was a hype, and we all believed that, he's going to bring it, and he's going to be even better than 2021. Okay. Talking to Dennis, he says, like, no, Milos, what I was seeing, like 2 weeks out and week out and 5 days out, that's the same Ramy, but better. Okay. Yes. Some atrophy in the triceps. Not horrible. It's not like he doesn't have it. Yeah. Listen, I was noticing, of course, and I mentioned it, but still, it was not, hey, your favorite bodybuilder in the whole world had no biceps, even before the tear, and he was winning the Olympia. Okay? So would that stop him from winning? Let's be real.
Hang on, tear.
Mistakes that I've seen on Ramy, I mentioned in the Jay Cutler podcast, when he lifts his arms, right, and then from the biceps, and then he squeezes the leg.
Didn't like that.
First, he widens his stomach. It's not the same. It doesn't look good, and changes the angle and reduces the peak of the biceps, and the arm look even smaller.
Yeah.
When stretched, it will be different. You pull out the lats, you suck in the waist, and you create more of the V-taper. And he's known for the X frame. Now, frontal biceps looks great. And then lat spread. Even before, he would do just like a couple of seconds and then goes down again, squeezing the abs. And again, weight goes there. I like abs. I always tell people, when you have abs, show them. But I was doing it always. But like, this is one of the examples that I have to say, no, it doesn't do you any benefit. Don't do it. Lat spread is called, for a reason, spread your lats pose. Okay, show us X-frame and a V-taper, and Ramy has a V-taper and an X-frame. So beating Nick Walker in X-frame and V-taper, 100%. There's no question. Sean Clarita, dangerous little, giant killer, right? That's where he needs to cover all the space, create that illusion X-frame.
Yeah.
So, and those are the first two poses coming as judges are calling you out, right? Those are the first two poses, coming. So, you know how it is, that first impression? Okay, now he's looking good. And then when he turns to the side, Big Ramy is super competitive, side chest, as you know, especially now this is the right arm. It's you don't see any, and right triceps to the point that back in the day, somebody was questioning, should you show both sides? It's accepted just one side is enough. So Ramy is super competitive in those frontal poses if he does them correctly.
Yeah.
Side poses 100%. Then there was that back double biceps that was problematic because of lower lat insertions, and that cannot be fixed. I just
what's your, when you saw those areas that were now missing, what do you think that is? Because somebody's saying, it's neck issues, spine issues. Remember Dennis Wolf? I mean, he had the neck issues and like his lower lats atrophied, and we've seen it happen. And what is that where the gastrocnemius just completely disappears? We've seen it with Valier. We've seen it, Dennis Wolf. It just goes. They have it, and then it just goes. What is that?
I'm no medical expert, but no field, so
Yeah.
it would be ridiculous for us even to give expert advice via bro science.
Okay.
It doesn't take much of the rocket science to see nerve has to fire the muscle.
Yeah.
The muscle would contract and therefore be able to hypertrophy or maintain the size. And when there's no delivery of an impulse, it atrophies. That's the only explanation.
I've seen it where guys literally, say the night before a show, if they got weak triceps or outer triceps, they fill their outer triceps full of propionate, and then they do it every single show, and because they come out with these. It's a supplement, super supplement. I'll get you some, and then all of a sudden, their triceps just get eaten away. I've seen it happen where they don't do it, and it's like all the muscle, the shape of the muscle's gone. Do you think it's like site locating, or?
Really, I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to. You see, I like to give my opinion when I base my opinion on something strong that I believe here.
Yeah.
I can only speculate, so it's like no point. But on the Big Ramy, right? Jake Oliver was saying that this is just how he squeezes. He doesn't open up, and he could be better. But listen, if he loses back double biceps pose to everybody, who cares? That's one pose. Lat spread, you can't really see the insertions. You know how for a lat spread,
it's gone.
When you spread the lats all the way and put the elbows out, you gain width, and then you have to bring back upper body so the lower lats pop out, and you see now lower lats and the maximum width. So some people do it, and you can see that, and then it looks so impressive because heavy ass, like lower lats, so much beef there.
Yeah.
But some people, you can't see it, but there is a V-taper. And, Ramy is wide, and this is not he's going to beat Nick Walker in lat spread pose. Nick doesn't open up at all, for example. So then he's going to turn around again into the ab shot with the abs and thighs, even though his thighs are, how would I call them? Not injured, but they have a
stents.
Yeah. Which again, okay, he does it. Chris Bumstead has it, on his right quad, right? It's some tear. Many other people had a tear. I had a quadricep tear. 2003, you can see on NOC, my lower portion of lateralis is gone because the nerves were cut. So I didn't have it going all the way to the knee.
Hang on, was that when you had your major tear?
Yeah, I had a major tear.
The major one, not like small ones you're talking about now.
Who, for me?
Yeah, because you snapped them, didn't you? You got serious.
That was a complete tear.
Okay. You're talking about that one. Right.
Okay. But what happened is like this part of the lateralis insertion in the patellar tendon it's gone.
Right.
If you touch me, I close my eyes, I wouldn't know that you're touching me. I mean, it's dead that there's no response. But I mean, his quads are still craziest quads, on stage. I mean, I think that Samson has the best legs by far. Right now, he's going to have best legs, complete legs on the stage. But Ramy, it's abs and thighs. He has a deep abs. That's very competitive pose for him. And then most muscular.
Oh
very
no,
good.
I don't like that. I don't like that ab and thigh now because his lats are gone. I think when he did it, it looks. It looked painful to me. I didn't. No. No.
Okay.
Or
Now
are you
think
just
of-
looking at the quads?
Good. Here's disagreement. So you think no. Hear it out. So you don't like his ab and thigh pose because he doesn't create the V taper on the lats. Is this what you're saying?
I saw some pictures of him doing an ab and thigh, and to me it looks. I don't like that pose on him anymore. It looks like I say his lats are gone now, and it spoils the picture for me.
Well, he has the deep abs. He has the crazy quads.
And the calves.
One of the most symmetrical, Sultan of Symmetry,
Yeah.
Flex Wheeler. Look at his abs and thighs.
Yeah.
Okay? Crazy abs, zero width. There was not even slightly. It was like, oh my God, where are your lats? Okay? And you can see this on many.
Mm-hmm.
When I teach that pose, of course, I say, okay, first pop the lats out, and then blow out the air. Okay, so create this. But how many people actually look at that? They look at the V taper. No, they look at abs and thighs.
Really?
And oh yeah,
Okay.
put it this way. I don't think that Big Ramy is going to be blown away in that pose. He's going to be competitive. So Jay Cutler also believes Ramy, if he brings a little bit better conditioning, which whatever it means, if there was a fullness that he was lacking, or if it brings that, it's still wow factor, super wide, super muscular, most muscular pose. Oof, he's competitive.
I think Clarida's going to beat him.
Who?
I think Clarida will beat Ramy.
Listen, 2 years ago when Clarida beat Regan, I publicly said it somewhere in one of the podcasts. I just don't remember which podcast I said it. I said, okay, and Ramy was reigning Mr. Olympia champion. I say, on the basis that Sean beat Regan in Reno, on the same basis, he can beat Big Ramy too. Even when that's Ramy, that was 2 times Mr. Olympia. If you just, look at physique, shape, proportionally, you don't care. But if you understand the fact that there's going to be 130-pound difference, okay, double the width, and all this stuff, judge is going to have to justify. If you just look at shape, conditioning, completeness, I mean, Sean Clarida could possibly win the show. I mean,
it's crazy, isn't it? It could.
Hey,
it's crazy because it could happen. It could happen. It could happen. Quickly, obviously Andrew Jack's been putting some pictures and videos out. He's moved to California temporarily. He's working with Aceto now. He's working with Psycho Fitness. I'm seeing some good things happening. Are you worried for your boy Samson that Andrew Jack's kind of maybe closing the gap this year?
Yeah, I love his physique. I mean, I'm a big fan. First time I've seen him, I was like, holy, that structure and quality. I mean, really, he has this, what I was saying, even when he's not completely ripped, when Steve Weinberger and I saw him, that was top 3 Olympia this year, that day.
Right.
Even with the weaknesses, because he was fuller, he was bigger, everything was happening. From the front relax, front last spread, front double biceps, ab shut. He is devastating, right? He can be combination of size, shape, thickness with everything. from the front. And from the front, even when he's off, he kind of looks on. So if he's going to be really on, then you can imagine, oh, this is going to look even that much better. When he turns to the side, okay, you can see that he doesn't have a thickness, density, size of a Samson and, you know, the guys, Nick, you know. And then when it turned to the back, it's still weaker. It's beautiful shape. You know, and I'm not a glute man. I don't care for glutes and all that stuff. But you know, I know. But that's what I judge. It's not just glute. It's like his back needs to be dry and leaner, and then glutes especially, and a hamstring. You know, so the whole picture. And that's 2 poses from the sides, 2 poses from the back, right? That's where judges can now, you know, look elsewhere. But hey, Andrew Jack is going to be battling with Samson and Nick and Hadi and Derek for many years to come.
It's going to be a huge deal for Samson to do everything he can to stay ahead of Andrew, because they are literally in a similar level right now. I think they're pretty much neck and neck. And I think, you know, given where they both are in terms of their career and where they're at and in terms of their physiques, I think, you know, if Samson just about stays ahead of Andrew, I think he's going to be doing well this next few years. I really do.
Oh, yeah. And I love him as a person. I love his shape. Yeah. I mean, even Regan and Jay Cutler's podcast, he says he loves Andrew and Samson for first and second at the Arnold.
Wow.
And
yeah, it could happen.
If this happens, we have a future in bodybuilding.
Yeah, well, yeah. And it'd be cool because you've got these 2 kind of short guys, Derek and Hadi, that are 1 and 2 now. But this year, I mean, it's not inconceivable to think that Samson and Andrew, I mean, that could be, like you said, Jake, just saying that could happen at the Arnold. I mean, they could be 1 and 2 at the Arnold. And then you've got 2 completely different sorts of physiques, you know, in the biggest bodybuilding shows. Like I said, you got Hadi and Derek at the Olympia. So I think it would make it really exciting.
I think so. And again, I'm just biased a little bit not for my athlete, because Andrew Jack is not my athlete. You see, that's why I always, I'm just so biased. I'm not biased at all, zero. At least I think I'm just an analyst.
Yeah.
So if it just happened to be that, hey, this is what I'm stating about this physique. Oh, and that physique belongs to my athlete. Now instantly I'm biased, you know. So, and Lauren is there. So, and Lauren, I'm sure that she has aesthetics and masculinity, like in a shapely matter, probably because she has an eye for aesthetics.
Of course.
Show general people. General people. Like take 1 million average, 10 million. Okay. And then tell them, normal ladies that never seen, okay, look at the physiques. You know, no even criteria. I'm not going to tell you what to look for. Just pick what you like right here. You know, million shapely or just brutal. Superman or a Hulk. You know, these directions, bodybuilding or muscle building. You know, seriously. On that note, I mean, Marcus Rule. How did he didn't win any goddamn contest, right? If there was a muscle building contest.
Yeah.
You know, you want a bigger freak?
Flex Wheeler always beats him.
Yeah. Rightfully so, I think.
Milos, before I let you go, I want to get your take on kind of one big subject that I'm interested in. I'm trying to sort of build the hype for is the Masters Olympia. Now, they've brought it back again for the 2nd, 3rd time now. They brought it back in 2012. They brought it back now. What's your feelings, obviously, on the new show and the fact that it's all divisions? And I really want to get your take on the Open because I'm really trying to push Kamal to get into it because I think he could win it. What's your feelings overall?
So my feeling about Masters,
just the Masters Olympia coming back, and who could potentially win it, and I mean if we just focus on the Open, really.
Yeah, I posted the Masters Olympia also 3-4 days ago with Robbie Robinson, Buerco, and Lou.
Yes, he did 94.
So and at that time, you see, this is the first time I'm seeing like, yeah, it was even interesting for me. Sonny Schmidt was my training partner, and he won the Masters Olympia.
Yep.
Then Vince once, okay, I understand, but that was my thinking of guys over 40. But then, you see, they have a Masters over 50, Masters over 60. They have a nationals here, Masters over 70 and 80. For the love of God!
Wow.
So. Yeah,
crazy.
You guys are quite loud in expressing their opinion. Not you, but media. Oh, this is dangerous, and bodybuilders are dying because we use steroids, and it's dangerous. But now you're going to encourage old men at the age of 50 plus, to push the envelope, pushing it back when they were younger, because no way. Know how that anybody that decides to go now on the Masters can cut their cycle in half because now they are wiser. No, they're going to say, okay, if I'm coming back after 10 years of not competing and I want to impress, and I don't want them to have a bad last picture of me, I want to impress them. I want to go on the shield. I'm going to bring it. I hate it. I already said it, and I know that they're probably not going to like. They asked me, "Would you compete?" Hell no. Why would I push myself to those limits? I know what it took to get there, right?
Yeah.
And you want to see me? You expect old Milos or you expect old whoever, So guy like Kamal, yes, it's show made for him. He's already doing it. Dexter was doing it, right? So if you are already competing and you just happen to be over 40, over 50, and Masters, this is kind of, it's a good contest. But if you're doing a Masters and everybody is, Chris Cormier, Jay Cutler, whoever else, come in, it's Masters, like, hell no. I don't want to see them compete. Why would I want to see them compete? They're going to be shadows of themselves.
I think it's going to be guys like Kamal, Johnny Jackson, who have competed in the last couple of years. And then I think the rest is going to be all these kind of new Masters pros who are turning pro as Masters who have been continually competing. You saw Flavio Bascianini wants to come back and do it. I mean, I know, but I just don't see that it's going to be what they did in like 94. It was Boyako, Robbie Robinson, Lou Ferrigno. I don't see that happening. I personally, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't see it happening. Back in the day, look, you know why they made Masters Olympia? Because Joe Weider wanted Lou Ferrigno to get the Olympia title. I mean, everybody knows that, right? That was the plan.
Yeah.
But shit happened, and Robbie Robinson didn't think that way.
But then, but sorry to interrupt. Sorry, but then if Lou Ferrigno had looked like he did just 1 year before, I think he didn't even look as good as he did in 93. And I'm thinking, you've kind of missed your opportunity there. I mean, I know obviously maybe, but I just didn't even look anywhere near as good as the year before. I don't, well, that was a long time ago now.
Yeah, but look at, 92.
Yeah. He
made a comeback. And then 93, he competed again.
It was 10th.
Because I was on both of those shows with him on stage. And then they figure, okay, there's no way that he can be competitive in the Open. That's why they made the Masters. Really, that was the reason, and that didn't happen. And listen, we have some great Masters, champions, but Vince Taylor was over 40 when he already looked great, and Sean Roden was over 40, right? Chris Dickerson, when he won, was over 40. I forgot, Ronnie Coleman was winning over 40, So, I understand that many people would be excited. Let's go see Masters. But, I'm against it completely, for bringing the old legendary champions to try one more time. No, stay home, watch Steve.
I think this is tailor-made for Kamal and potentially guys like Victor Martinez, Johnny Jackson, guys like Phil Clayhart, guys who've either competing currently, still competing, or guys that competed and looked good, say 2 years ago. Not ones that, I don't think you're going to get like a Lou Ferrigno 17 years later, 75 to 92. I just don't see, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, so define what you want.
Yeah.
Define what you want. Because I don't want to see any of those major names coming back. But for guys, they're over 40 and they're competing and they're competitive. Yeah, that's beautiful. Then, let's just do that. And Kamal would be a front runner, I think.
Yeah, easy win.
Yeah. Phil Clayhart would give him hell. I don't know who else, though. I can't really think.
Yeah, it's yeah. Milos, how's your supplement company going, mate? Because I've that with JYM. How's that going?
My supplement line, yes. So I'm in process of making my intra-workout supplementation. So as you guys know, I pioneered this whole intra-workout hyperemia advantage, increased blood flow to muscle. And as this happens only when you train, then only when you train you have that advantage point that if you saturate the blood with exact nutrients, supplements in pre-digested form, ready for uptake, and you deliver them to whatever muscle you're training, and all the muscle contractions are gonna, be able to insert this straight into the muscle. That was my theory, and I put it in practice and worked magic. I never did a double-blind university study to say it's proven, but thousands of companies doing intra-workout supplementation nowadays obviously confirm there is magic that could happen. So as my original formula evolved, I'm doing now with my new supplement line, Gym Science, with Jim Stepani. Jim is experts that I follow for many, many years. He already have a pre-workout supplementation, right? So we're not going to reinvent the wheel there, but we are adding the intra-workout supplementation. That should be this year, in the next few months. We expect it is going to be basically the drink that I would point out that bombastic advertisement. Don't go in the gym without it. Don't waste your time. Don't send empty blood to your muscle, right? If you're going to already do the work and you want to maximize the progress. So if you're going to ask me to bet my life, if you and I are identical twins and same genetics, you're going to do the same exercise, the same diet, but the only difference is that I'm going to drink my intra-workout drink into the same workout that you and I do. I'm going to dramatically improve. My hypertrophy is going to be on the next level, and I'm going to beat you in any bodybuilding contest. So this is... Right now, I don't have it, right? And I encourage everybody, drink your intra-workout supplements that you have. Not because I'm going to make money, but because that's my advice that I've been giving for 20 years to everybody, okay? So a lot of people take supplements and they don't know what they're taking and why they're taking. They're just taking because this guy does it. Yeah. So I want people to first understand, okay, what are you going to do? I said this one more time, my hyperemia advantage. You and I right now have 5-6 liters of blood, and maybe 10% is in our muscles. We are sitting doing nothing, right? If you and I go right now and do squats and bench within 20, 30 minutes, 60% of that blood is going to go exactly in the chest or legs, okay? Yeah. So that's going to happen 100% for sure. We can get out of it. Oh, so that blood is going to be in a working muscle. And every muscle contraction is going to open up that muscle cell of whatever muscle we're training is going to be ready for uptake. Blood is now where in a muscle. So if blood is saturated with all the nutrients, they're ready to go somewhere in the first available cells and tissues, they're going to go there. You're just forcing it. Now, right now, you're pumping the biceps, each contraction. Where is it going to go? Straight into that biceps. That's where you want it. That's why you're training. But it's accepted in exercise physiology, or you should deplete the muscle, catabolize, let it go, break it down, and then after the training, you can replenish and rebuild. Break so you can rebuild. No, I send it there. I put it there as you're doing it.
That was Lauren. I was talking to Lauren the other night, and I was talking about the articles that Jim Stepani used to write in Muscle and Fitness. Remember the ones I was saying about the alternatives? If you couldn't get a protein drink, well, I couldn't remember the name. It was Jim Stepani. That's a really good guy to go into business with, because I used to love that guy's articles. That's one thing I miss about those magazines, those type of magazines, and Muscle and Fitness, because I used to really. He's the only nutrition guy I kind of used to read his articles because I thought they were brilliant. Yeah. They were brilliant. So he's a really good guy to go in. So I would, that's definitely a good partner to have.
Yeah, Jim is PhD and an expert in. Yeah. He does. I mean, he's in crazy condition right now. I don't know if you see him. He's a kind of guy that can enter masters and give them run for the money. Wow. Super lean year around, but very educated. And listen, I'm not trying to force something to anyone, but I was telling this to Ron Harris in the last interview. Put that intra-workout supplementation. Bring what you want to deliver. Essential acids make a difference. Citrulline, beta-alanine, L-carnitine, carbohydrates. Oh, no. Carbs are going to, elevate the blood sugar level. Blood sugar level is going to cause pancreas to release insulin. Insulin in the blood is going to take everything out of the blood. It's going to dispose into first available cells and tissues. It's only muscle that is available.
My doctors, we've tried metformin again, because I tried it 10 years ago when I found out I was diabetic, and it just gave me a bad stomach, basically gave me the shits. And sorry, I tried to explain it any other way. And I'm using it now, and I tell you what, my body has changed completely in 3 weeks, because the metformin has brought my blood sugar down. That's why I'm starting to really believe that insulin really is the most powerful hormone in the body, because I'm changing like, yeah, I know, but I am changing like I've gone properly, like I was prepping for a show on a proper gear course and GH and all these other things I'd use. I cannot believe how much my body's changed purely by basically my body's sort of producing enough insulin to really, I mean, it's dramatic, Milos. Honestly, I mean, this suit is getting tight, mate. And I mean, I'm getting leaner as well. I'm getting leaner.
Yeah, but that's why I told you, I love you. Is just slow down a little bit, because consider, I mean, for everybody that follows you, they know what you've been through, and it's amazing, your recovery and your mindset and everything. So listen, I'm the first one to encourage you. I wonder, but when we get older, we do have to step foot on the brake every so often, Listen, I'm guilty of doing the same. You can't have the same 20-year-old mentality. I'm unbreakable and I'm just going to push to the limits. You look fantastic. You look very good. I was enjoying our dinner at Olympia, and I hope you're going to have more. But as much as I love seeing how you look, right? Okay, last thing that I'm going to say. People say, oh, Milos, you're training and all that stuff. No, I've been hardly training, but it's like almost experiment. I want to realize how much I can get away with and still look halfway decent. Yeah. So before I would think like, oh, if I missed a workout, if I miss a meal, if I miss 2 days, oh, my body's going to go to, shit. And I realized, it's not like this, there is that muscle memory. And if, to maintain takes much less than to originally build it, So
yes, yeah, I can't believe, because I'm training 5 days a week. I'm eating 4 meals a day, good meals, good quality, well balanced, and I'm doing 125 milligram of testosterone enanthate with an insulin pin a week, nothing else. And the metformin, I'm up to 1,500 milligrams a day now. And Lauren, what is it like? I've changed, like my training has gone to another level, the best it's gone in 10 years. I'm not using anything else. And I just cannot believe how much my body is changing. It's incredible.
Beautiful. I love it. Keep doing it. And we'll do the pose down for Masters Olympia.
Might jump in, yeah. And also, Milos, I want to say publicly, thank you for the messages when I was in hospital, because I said this, I forget who I said this to, but I said, when I get messages from you and Ronnie, they just hit differently. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They do. They land differently. I can't explain it almost, really.
Okay, it's like, I feel like I'm right there whispering in your ears. Okay, this is kind of message I like you. I don't want to say something for a reason of just saying. I mean something, and you would feel the meaning. Therefore, maybe it's going to impact differently.
That's basically what I'm trying to verbalize that I can't quite. Yeah, but that's exactly how it was. You're right. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I love you. Always will, you know that. And Lauren, thank you so much for taking care of my man. I see you guys as a happy couple, and I'm delighted.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Milos. I'm going to let you go, mate, and thank you so much for coming on MD Global Muscle. You're my secret weapon. You know, I reach out to you once or twice a year when I know I need a real kind of really good episode, a really good one.
I'm available anytime. You know, anytime. You knew as soon as you asked, I made myself available. Yeah, the reason why I have to go is now because Barcelona is playing the game. Real Madrid lost, so we want to get 8 points ahead.
All right, guys. Milos, thank you so much, and I'll see you very, very soon, mate.
All right.
Bye-bye. I'm joined all the way from freezing cold Columbus, Ohio, Bryan Balzano.
How you guys doing?
I'm doing really well, Brian. Finally, I got you nailed down, mate, and I got you on Global.
I appreciate you guys coming in and asking me to be on this. I'm pretty pleased to do this, man. I love doing this kind of stuff.
Good. Well, because we tried earlier in the year, didn't we? But you were competing, and then I think Ron Harris got you for Ronline. And I thought, well, I'll leave it till after the Olympia, and then I'll reapproach you and kind of get you back on, mate. But yeah, we're glad to have you here finally, because I hate it when I don't like to see them get away, you know?
Yeah, it's like, especially being like my first Olympia and only like my 5th show of my career. Like, it's stressful. Like, I don't know how to handle all the PR and interviews and compete and have a real job and like try to juggle all these things. So it's like, it's hard for me to do stuff when I'm in prep because I have my 40-hour-a-week bank job. I got to work out. I do everything on my own, like, you know, so it's like, I don't have much time. So like when people ask me to do interviews, it kind of like, I don't know, I kind of get stressed out. So I'm like, where is this time? I got to work my 8 hours. I got to go train. I got to do cardio. I got to here and try to like, you know, and then I only have so much time off at work that I can get. So it's kind of like a little stressful that like, you know, I'm not like a full paid bodybuilder yet. So like I have a real job, real obligations, and kind of have to like wait till the competing season's done to do a lot of these interviews because I just got so much going on in the real world that I don't have that ability of like where I'm making money on my own. I'm still have a real job and I gotta abide by their rules.
Yeah. So the Olympia was your 5th show.
Yeah, so the 5th show of my whole life was the Mr. Olympia.
Wow. So I can't. Sometimes I'm trying to think who else has had like Hunter Labrada. He's done like 8 shows in his entire career, and he's won 6 of them. And like literally, like their 4th or 5th show or 6th show, or I mean, to get to the Olympia in under 10 shows for me, it's pretty mind blowing, mate.
Yeah, it's always like one of those things like you don't appreciate what you have in the moment. Like even to me, I'm like, oh, I made it in 5 shows, and everyone around me is like, dude, you know how crazy it is? Like on one hand, you made it to the greatest stage in the world, but in my mind, I'm like, I took too much time. like just like I'm like I should have did it in 4 shows. But
okay.
Like I don't know. I feel like I'm that person. Like it just. You're never satisfied. Like, and like, I feel like you just can't be. Like, if you're trying to be the best in the world, then like you can't have one thought of being satisfied until you're the last one standing. So it's like, oh, like I did it in 4, like I did it in 5 shows, but I'm like, well, I should have done it in 4 shows. So it's like, I don't really give myself the pat on the back that I need, but all my friends around me are like, you need to like take a step back and realize like who else has done that.
Yeah.
So they're like, you need to kind of give yourself a little more, you know, a little more credit than you give to yourself. But that's just the athlete. I feel like, you know, in me, it's not like I don't put myself down. It's like, we always want more. I could have always done better. You could have always done something more with the time that you had. So it's those thoughts of like, you know, until I'm the last one standing, there's always something that I could have done better.
But isn't that the bodybuilder's mentality? Like no bodybuilder's physique is ever perfect. It's never. That's the whole thing of bodybuilding. You can always be better. You can always do better, and that's the thing. You're constantly chasing. That's the pursuit of it. Surely is. Do you know what I mean? You're constantly chasing something. Sorry, guys, just had a bit of a technical issue. We're saving the file to the laptop, not the hard drive. So yeah, we've caught it in time. So yeah, sorry. So basically, we're saying that isn't that a bodybuilder's mentality? Like I said, you're constantly going after something.
Yeah, and it never stops. And I guess like in this, like you can't let it stop because you're constantly like, I feel like as men too in general, like not in the sport, like you just need something that's perpetual, that like a purpose that keeps giving. Like there's not like there's not an end in sight because there is no end in sight. But you just keep going and going and going to like make it's like art. Like, you know, there's no perfect art, but you're on the pursuit of perfecting the art that you have. And you can always tweak something, but like there's never really an end. And even when you win Miss Olympia, like that is the end. That's the ultimate goal. You are on top. But now it's like you got to keep refining. Okay, like now what do I need to do to stay that one step ahead of everyone else? So I feel like just as people in general, like you need small term goals, but you also need that long term goal that's not really like fully attainable, because you just got to keep pushing yourself. It's like when we stop pushing ourselves is when our bodies degrade, our minds, everything. Yeah, you slowly just die. It's like when you retire and work.
Yeah,
like,
I was just about to say that. It's like you see people that retire and you see the ones that just go lie on the beach and just eat themselves. They kind of lose that purpose. They just, it's the ones that keep going or find some sort of satisfaction in some hobby or pursuit or some charitable thing or volunteer or something, and they're the ones that seem to stay more alive.
Yeah, it's just like we all want to retire, and then when we get there, you just die. Like, and people who do like retire and loves, like most of them find the job. They want something to do because it's like, you know, we don't want to work, but in the end, it's what keeps us alive. It gives us purpose. It keeps us moving.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, you know, we don't want to just sit still on the couch. Like I know, like we want to rest day. Like I just want to lay out here on the couch, but in general, that's not what we want. Like you want to stay in motion. You want to keep driving to something. So it's like the sport's that one thing. It just kind of like, you know, just gives you that purpose of like, you don't stop. It's you just keep going and going. There's no end in sight. You can see what you want to do, but it gives you that fulfillment that like you're chasing something that's giving you that purpose that like you're just not going to stop and keep you living, keep you thriving, keep you pushing.
You seem like a driven, but also quite an impatient man.
I'm a very impatient person. I like moving pretty quick. I just like, even for me, man, like turning pro in 78 days, making it to the Olympia in 5 shows.
Yeah.
Like everyone, even after like all the surgeries, whatnot, like I lost everything. That one picture that everyone thinks fake on my Instagram, like in 2019, I looked like I was 16 years old. And then in less than 3 years, I became a top 10 Olympian. Like I put on 80 pounds of muscle. And it's like, it's not possible, but like, everyone's always like, dude, like you got some crazy genetics, but
yeah, that's crazy. 80 pounds.
Yeah. So, so I dropped down to about 150 pounds in that photo where I look like a kid. And then I gained, like off season, I can get to 230, 235. So like 85 pounds on my frame.
Yeah.
Now I did that in 1 year, but like, so each off season I get up to like 235 again. I can't really get above 235. My body starts to like top out, but it comes back differently. So like when I got in prep for the 21 Indy Pro, I got to 235. Then I got down to like 197 stage weight. Then next Indy Pro got to like 236. Then my stage weight was 207, and then we won that. Then at the Olympia, got up to like 237-ish.
Yeah.
And then we cut down and we were 210 at weigh-in. So it's like off season, I mean, I feel like the cap is around 235-ish for my frame, but it comes back different every time. But yeah, I just went from, in literally like less than 3 years, I went from, you know, a kid in a hospital bed for 2 years at 150 pounds to making it to the Olympia and gaining 80 plus pounds of muscle. From November 4th, 2019 to December 16th, 2023, I went from literally 2 years off of training and being in a hospital bed to just about 3 years to making it to the greatest stage in the world and getting my whole body back bigger than ever.
I want to come to your kind of your serious medical situation that you had to overcome. We'll come to that in a minute, but let's just quickly touch on the Olympia. What was that like, your first Olympia? Like you said, it was your 5th show. What was that like as an experience? Because obviously, I mean, you won the Indy and it was a very good lineup, you know, but the Olympia is like a whole new level. And to be there, like literally only in your 5th show, what was that like? Was it overwhelming? Was it what you expected? Were you happy?
It was a little overwhelming with things to do. Cause like it's Vegas, it's not easy to travel. So it's like, you know, like once again, like, you know, like we need a kitchen, even though like the Olympia gives you that free hotel room. Like I need a refrigerator. I need a microwave. I, you know, might need to cook. So it's like, you kind of have to get your own hotel. So it's like, you're down the road, then you got to be at these things and you got to get your tans over here, and going up and down the strip is hard. So it's like the time management was really hard. And then also it being 30 degrees and at night, less than 30 sometimes, freezing cold.
Yeah.
Which I'm used to the cold, but like we're on the West Coast.
Hang on, mate. You're from Columbus. That's the coldest place on earth. I nearly froze to death in Columbus, Ohio, waiting for a taxi outside the Jason Deere after party at the Arnold.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is literally the coldest I've ever been. I'm going to die in Columbus.
It gets pretty cold here. So all of that, like overall, the actual show itself was not stressful. It was more like calming because like you know this is the end of the road. Like it's like you feel like I was more nervous at the Indy Pro than I was at the Olympia, because it's like at the Olympia it's like this is where I belong. It's more like I'm fighting for the battle, but like these are the best of the best. So it's like I'm doing my job. I'm here, but like it's kind of hard to explain. It's like you think you'd be freaking out because it's like this is it. Like I'm in the Super Bowl, but it was more calming than anything, because other shows like you want to get there, but it's like I'm already here.
Yeah.
And it's like now I belong, like I deserve to stand next to these guys. But the actual show itself was stressful, going like having to run around everywhere from place to place and just kind of take taxis here. It's like and it's just taking time. Like if I could have just sit in one spot and just got ready for the show, like the Indy Pro, not have anything to really worry about, to get to athletes meeting, tanning is right next to here, and not have to there's a million athletes at the Olympia. There's tanning appointments all over the place. My tanning appointments during the athletes meeting. Then you're just like, well, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Now I got to figure out these issues, and I'm trying to stay calm. And then I got to get here, and I got to get my crew with me. And it's just, there was so much to deal with there that it was kind of overwhelming. But the show itself did not overwhelm me. It was just constantly having to move, and I just wanted to sit still. And then the tanning, I was next to Planet Hollywood. So you're walking, I got to go here, then I got to walk down the shops to the Zappos Theater. And I'm just constantly beating my legs, and it's nothing's in one spot.
Yeah.
And it just kind of made your life kind of like a wreck. I
thought the opposite. I thought it was pretty. I mean, I wasn't competing, but I thought it was pretty. I did with when we went to the Zappos Theater, I didn't realize we were literally in it. We were right next to it because I was staying at the Planet Hollywood. I didn't realize it was literally through there, and that's it. You're bang at the Zappos Theater. But as a competitor, you're saying with tanning and everything, it was a little bit more tricky.
Yeah, because I stayed at the Hilton because I needed a full kitchen.
Right.
So,
okay.
Come in. So it's I need the other rooms, those mini fridges don't work. I need something to keep my meat cooked. Because I cook all my food before traveling. So then it's I put in a big cooler. I have this backpack. Then when I get in, put it in the fridge, start microwaving potatoes, bring out the rice cooker, all these things. But it just you don't have that. So I have my own hotel. Then I would stay at the the Planet Hollywood for in between shows to get ready. But I still needed that kitchen and whatnot. I feel even other people, I watched a lot of Sean Clarita's YouTube videos and Nick Walker. Yeah, they got their own house or Airbnb or something because you need a kitchen. It's just not possible. The hotel room at Planet Hollywood isn't really useful because it's just a room over your head, but it's we need other things to get ready for the show. So besides that, and then I'm sponsored by LSR, So then like, you know, it's not the pro tan. And so they're in a off-site location.
Liquid Sun Rays,
so that's like, I'm already at this location,
yeah.
tan here,
yeah.
athletes meeting here.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm just literally like jogging everywhere. And you're supposed to be like laying back with your feet in the air. And I'm over here just like doing like a marathon for the Olympics, trying to go from place to place to place.
So top 10, I mean, you took 9th place, top 10 in your first Olympia, your 5th show. Were you happy with that?
I mean, honestly, no.
Okay.
I'm not like,
okay.
I was a little, I gotta say like the majority emotion that hit me at that time is more just disappointed in myself.
Wow, really?
Like I'm happy everyone will still tell me like, dude, like you took top 10 in the world at your 5th show of your life, in your first Mr. Olympia. You gotta be happy, but like in my eyes, I feel like I should have been a little higher. I could have came in a little bit better at peak. Like I know I'm better, so it's like yes, like I'm deep down I'm happy. It'd be like I'm top 10 in the world at my once again the 5th show of my life and the first Mr. Olympia. Like even like put it in perspective, like people say like Sean Clarita, like his first Mr. Olympia, he took dead last.
Yeah, he did.
So I, you know, it's like I took 9th, and so
yeah.
Like, you know, other people else, like even like, you know, like I'm not comparing myself to Ronnie Coleman, like even like Ronnie Coleman, his first Mr. Olympia.
Hey, that's
like
very good point, mate. Very good point. I was actually thinking of Ronnie when you said about how quickly you made it to the Olympia stage. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, that's pretty impressive, mate. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So like, I feel like once that like raw emotion sits down, like I am proud, but like in the moment, that athlete of like just. I know I can be better. I know I need more time, but it's like in my mind, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I know my placing can be better. So it's a little bit just hard on myself because it's like, I don't know. It's just, I'm not disappointed, but at the same time, I'm just like, I could have placed higher.
But you know you can be better. You know that.
Yeah.
Like I looked at it and I said if he gets a bit more going on in the back and you know maybe works a bit more on the separation, because really I was talking about, I wrote about you in MD. I showed you, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I said really with Angel Calderon and Sean Clarita, you're in probably the top 3. I'm trying to think actually. You're one of the thickest 212s. Like in terms of actually how much muscle you carry. And the density and thickness that you carry as a 212. I mean, you've got the kind of thickness like, say, Sean and Angel have, who've done well in open shows, that open guys kind of carry. You know, you're carrying a lot of tissue there, mate. A lot of muscle.
And it's like, because even like, it's kind of weird because I still look at myself. I'm like, man, I'm just like, I don't feel like I'm that big. And like, cause everyone else like even said like, yeah, Jose Raymond walked up to me and he was like, dude, like you're probably once again like he's like one of the thickest, if not the thickest on stage.
Yep.
I just don't see it. I'm like I feel like I need some more mass.
Go look at the pictures, mate. Go look at the pictures because literally, like I said, Angle and Sean Clarita, pound for pound. I think out of you 3, I think you're really carrying. I'm literally trying to think of anyone that matches you 3's level of actual like proper amount of like thick muscle.
Yeah. So it's like. Yeah, so I'm sitting there, and that's kind of where, like, you know, I know I could be better, but also, like, being dead honest, it, like, leading up to the show, it was, I feel like we were looking the best weeks out, even, like, 1 week out, but, like, at the show, it was not my best look. I'm not really sure what went wrong with the peak. I do know it prejudging, but everyone said, like, my tan was off, but, like, and it made me look really dull on stage at prejudging. So like my gloss was a bit wrong.
That's important.
So like
it's important.
I don't like it. Kind of irritates me there because like even like Jose Raymond's like my feedback was to do better was that like my tan was completely messed up.
Yeah.
And which I'm like that's not necessarily like my fault. Like
I know
it did it, but like even Jose Raymond came down was like because I ran into him right after the prejudging and he was like looking at you head on. Your tan's fine. He's like, your tan looks good. He's like, you were just not glazed at all. He's like, you look so dry on stage, and that made you look dull and watery. And he's like, because like you're normally super dry, and he's like, I think the fact that you were so dry that your body ate the glaze, and you needed more. to keep you glossed, but like backstage,
I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen where guys, sometimes it's with black competitors, that their skin is so dark they have to have extra tan and extra oil. Otherwise, it just seems to absorb in the skin, and they don't look, and it makes them look like they're not in the condition they are.
Yeah, and so the other feedback was I just need deeper separation. Which is like, I guess, just more muscle maturity. So like, besides that, so like that was like my only feedback was I need deeper separation. But the whole tan thing was just kind of like, that's not, to me, it's not really feedback, but also what irritated me, like it's my first Olympia, whatever, like my fifth show. I don't do this in like every show I've done. Like, so 2 of my 5 shows were amateurs. You just get glazed on stage.
Yeah.
Then Indie Pro, same, like 21, but at the 22, but I knew I was going to potentially win the show there. But like, I even talked to the lady, like, I don't know how it works. Like, you know, getting glazed. Like, I feel like it's their idea. Like, hey, like we need to reglaze you. And you're like, no, like, yeah, like we'll let you know if you're going to get like reglazed or not. And then like, so at the Olympia, I was, you know, talking to the girl who was glazing me. Like, it's my first one. Like, cause at the Indie Pro 22, I got a little bit drier too.
Yeah.
And they kept saying like, you know, you could be retouched, or like, I never got retouched. I didn't know if you could do that or not. And so at the Olympia, I was like, hey, like, you guys let us know. And then, like, I kind of got a little upset because on the thing, like, the girl who glazed me was like, yeah, like, we'll got you. Like, we let you know if you're getting touched or not. And, like, she was glazing Sean Clarita in front of me because we were, like, alphabetical there.
Yeah.
And, she was reglazing him, like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, you know, and, like, she was on the ramp. Not, like, so he didn't go to her. She came to him and was glazing him up, like, left and right. And then, like, she's literally right in front of me. I'm like, do I need to be reglazed? And she's like, nope, you look good. And I go on stage and say
bullshit.
I'm really not even glazed.
That's no, honestly, mate. I'm trying to, whilst you're saying that, I'm trying to remember who we were watching on the live stream, and I actually had his number, and I said, mate, tell them that you need more glaze, and he said, I've already gone up, and he said they've said it's fine. I says, no, it's not. Go up and tell them that you want to be reglazed. Insist. Who was it? One of Myro's guys.
Was it Vlad?
Vlad. Was it Vlad?
It was either
Vlad or Theo
Andrea.
or Andrea Presti. Yeah, well, one of these guys. And I'm like literally saying, look, and they say, no, they're telling me it's fine. I said, I'm watching, mate, and I'm telling you it's not. Go and bloody tell them, insist. You know? I said, because I remember like Crizzo at the Prague show, at the pre-judging, his tan was horrible. He had no glaze on. And then when he fixed it for the night show, because obviously he had a lot of people telling him, when he came back for the night show, he looked sensational, you know? And this is, like, this can make or break a prep, you know? And the thing is, sometimes you can't rely, because you might get the odd girl who's just busy and just goes, no, you're fine. And they don't care, you know? You've got to, like, say, no, I'm paying for this, so do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Once again, like, I'm learning, but like,
yeah, it's a learning, yeah.
At first, my initial reaction was like, I was pissed. I'm like, so I've lost placings because I wasn't glazed, but like I get here, but like so it's like, aren't you got like, she's really in front of me, and like it's not like, okay, well, Sean Clarita went to her to like do his job, like, because he's been competing for years, he knows what to do. It's like, no, like he didn't go to her, they catered to him, and she's literally right in front of me, and we had the conversation. I'm like, do you want to touch me up? She's like, no, you're good. And then I go out and get said that like I wasn't glazed, and I just kind of like, was this kind of like did she just like kind of like attack me in a way, like how like this, like,
mate, that could be the difference between 9th and 7th. It literally is that important.
Yeah, so I don't know, like people told me to maybe like always bring your own glaze, like next time if no one's there, like glaze yourself, because like so I was a little like irritated that happened. Like I could have solved the issue, and I did before knowing it, but like not really. I didn't know that I looked dry, because once again, I still felt wet. Yeah. I was rubbing something around. I'm like, all right, like I'm thinking I'm glossy, and then it turns out like when the stage shots came out, everyone was like, you look watery, but like I'm not watery. Like just like we're super dry, you're super lean. It's like just like the fact that you literally had no glaze in your body whatsoever. Yeah. And then we did look better at the finals. I was glossy. I was really better. So it's like, it just kind of like irritated me that like, I don't know how bad it hurt me, but like I was going on stage when I asked the lady doing her job if I needed more, and she looked in my face and said no.
No. I don't want to add fuel to the fire, but that sort of thing really pisses me off, mate. It really does. Because like I said, I remember Wesley Vissers I messaged when he won the Chicago, and I said, mate, you got your tan is shit. I said, go and sort it out. I said, otherwise you're going to lose the night finals. You're going to lose the show.
Yeah. So that's like, but overall, like, get rid of all that. I am very proud of myself. Either way, hands down, top 10 in the first Olympia of your life, the fifth show of my whole career. I'm happy. I just think things could have gone down a little bit better. In my control and not in my control.
Yeah.
I just like
you've done everything. You've done everything in your power up to that, up to literally standing on stage. You know, but like you said, it's a learning curve. And the thing is, some of the less experienced guys like yourself, like, you know, like someone like another competitor that maybe like a Sean Clarida, if he looked down and went, well, my glaze is not right. I know this isn't right. I know what I can do to fix this. You know, this is something now that you know that if somebody tells you, especially if you got feedback from a coach or a friend or something, you now know that you can go and say, or even just like you said, take your own freaking bottle and do it yourself. Do you know what I mean? Don't rely on them, because sometimes they will just. I've heard it. I've not seen who, but I've heard it where they have fobbed off competitors, you know, and then the feedback after the show, when the show's all said and done, is that your glaze and your tan wasn't right, mate. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, because it's just like you said, like before, like we do all this work, everything. I mean, like I do, like it's not like we didn't put the work in. Like we look great, and then like the last second. You get docked because someone didn't glaze you right. You're like, and then I don't know the rules. Like, I feel like if you tan yourself to glaze yourself, that could be disqualification. You know, like I don't know, but like I know in other things, like you can't use certain products and do this, but like I don't want to like, you know, glaze myself and be like, well, you have an unfair advantage, whatever. And then like I get disqualified. I don't know what goes on here. I'm just still. I feel like a newbie. Like I feel like I'm just a fan on stage somehow. I had a good I haven't competed too much. So like I'm still learning here, but like I still feel like I'm a fanboy. Like what's up? I'm like I must be in the wrong spot because I'm literally on the Olympia stage. But like I believe it's like I deserve to be there, but like I haven't been around very long. So like I'm still like. People turn pro after. I remember like when I went Indy Pro or the Indy Pro like 21 where I took fourth. I remember talking to John Jewett and
Tonio?
I forget the hostile supplement
Tonio?
athlete.
Not Tonio.
No, the one who took second.
Samson.
No, 212 we're talking about. Not 312.
He won the New York Pro the week after. Like it was Antonio.
Nola Dam.
He was white guy, spawn 212 athlete.
Nathan Epler.
Yeah. And then like, because it was Epler's pro debut and my pro debut, and we were backstage like, bro, like you got a great look, and he's like, you know, I can see you're disappointing yourself, but he was like, dude, keep in mind, he's like, I'm like, it's all of our pro debuts, but he's like, this is my 18th show, this is your 4th show.
Yeah.
So that was, he was like, so, well, actually, no. The Indy Pro 21 was my 3rd show. So he's like, because the 22 was my 4th and Olympia is my 5th. So he's like, so you've done 3 shows and you took 4th in an open show, and my pro debut had to be my 18th show. He's like, imagine if you put 15 more shows under your belt and equal the stage, what would you look like and where would you be then? So he's like, so yes, you didn't win the show, you look great, but he's like, dude, like we've done 15 more shows than you. You have a lot to learn. You're all these things. So like I'm still essentially new because I don't have that much experience of just knowing little knickknacks around backstage, everything. My posing's still a little off. I'm still a little nervous. I don't have that, like, you know, not confidence, but like that just like calmness on the stage. I allow the audience to still kind of get to me because I'm not used to it. But like each show I'm doing, I'm getting better and better and better and better at. I just need, like you said, like those 15 shows. Like by my 15th, 18th show, I guarantee you I'll be looking fantastic and have a stage presence that draws you in, and there's zero like nervousness. Like, you know, give me 10 more shows and I'll be right there. It
is like time on stage that is no better way to get experience and confidence and knowledge by just, you know, doing more shows. So aren't you disappointed that the Indie Pros no more? I couldn't believe that.
I know, I'm a little sad.
Gutted. I was gutted because Dane does such a great job with that show. Sorry.
Yeah, I love Dave, man. He was a nice guy. Even after the show, like we would talk all the time, like leading up to it. He's a great promoter, great guy in general, just real nice. So hopefully, maybe sometime in the future it comes back. But yeah, it's I'm more than proud to have done my only pro shows at the Indie Pro. But it's still sad that, like, once again, it's never going to happen again for now. So,
I mean, thing is, I've heard that though, where he really connects with the athletes. Like, he really reaches out to every single one of them. Like what you're just saying there, like I speak to him regularly. It's like every single person who's done the indie all make a point of saying that. They're saying like, yeah, he's really like anything you need, make sure, like really went over and above for the competitors. And it's sad to see those promoters now going, okay, well, I'm going to, because I know he's got his other business and he's got a family.
Yeah.
And, you can understand because these shows, and the thing is, promoting to the level that he did and the amount that how involved he was and how much he put into it, it is hard to sustain that when you've got other priorities like a family and a successful business.
Oh yeah, and that's where just once again staying calm and staying collected. Like he's a great promoter because he has kids, he's got a wife, he's got multiple businesses.
My God,
he's got all these, but yet he's still doing more than once again, I've not been around sport. I've never dealt with other promoters, but I would assume there are a ton of promoters who don't do what Dave does.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the time for it. And I don't know if Dave even has the time for it, but he does it. So it's sad to see him leave. You
two probably connected because you're both such busy lives with so many commitments.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we're gotta find a new game plan this year. Haven't really made any decisions.
God. Do you know what though? I'm just, as you're talking, as we're discussing everything, I'm thinking, what about maybe doing 3, like Nathan Epler did that one year, do 3 or 4, 5 shows on the trot to get that experience. Have you considered that?
I've thought about it. The only reason why I can't is because of my job.
Yeah.
Like
shit. Yeah, of course.
The travel, the time off, like I can't. Like the only vacation time I have will all be used to competing.
Right.
And then it's like, once again, like I'm doing this all by myself. So it's like doing 4 or 5 shows. That's 5 plane tickets, 5 hotels, 5 trying to get food out there. Like, I mean, it's all this money that, once again, like it's my income. I'm still paying my mortgage, everything. It's like, so it's like, it just comes down to like, I could do it, but I don't have help from anyone. So it's like, I'm just like, so it's like, you got to invest in yourself, but you also got to protect your future. So like, I don't want to just spend all of my money just trying to do this. And it's like, okay, well then I'm just depleting my savings account, depleting my retirement, not be able to invest still. Like, I hold standards for myself. So like, I still am making solid money, but at the same point, like to me, I still want to put money away in investments and other things. And if I can't do that, then like I'll cut back on spending, because like I can only spend so much, but like I'm not willing to not continue to invest, to not go into my savings account, because like I want to continue to, like, I will spend money where I'm flat and I'm still putting money in investments, but the minute I go where I'm spending a little more than I can put money away, then I'm like, it's not worth it. Now I could go all in and then like almost like Nick Walker, and then also like the next thing you know, you go from boom, now you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, all this stuff. I'm fine, but like, I'm not fine with that kind of risk. I don't want to invest all of my incoming income to see if I could then pull in more money. But it's like, it's not smart to me. Like, I want to continue to build my retirement, to build my savings and do this. But like doing 4 or 5 shows together at once is going to be hard on my job life. Then if I blow all my vacation to travel and have these peak weeks off, then I got no time with my family or like my girlfriend around the holidays. So I just gotta stay home while they travel. Like, I don't want that to happen. So it's just in the end, I can't do that. I can't spend
that's understandable.
all that money to do the 5 shows. But if I had sponsors paying for the travel and all stuff like most people do, like they're not paying for that, then I would 100% do it, but I am paying for every single dime that I do. Like, so it's like I can't just blow money like that away.
I'd be very, very surprised if you're not on the radar of more than one, maybe several good companies, because you're the kind of person they are actually looking for. Somebody that's come out of nowhere, you know, marketable, it's been successful from the bat, you know, and you can see that there's improvements you can make, which will catapult you into that top 5 at the Olympia, the top 3, a future champion. You've got, you know, you've got a good attitude. You've got, you know, you've got a good bio. Do you know what I mean? For a supplement company or even any sort of company to want to sort of align themselves with, you've got the work ethic, you've got the attitude. And so I'd be very surprised if this year that didn't kind of, you know, come to fruition, but still, you've still got to balance it with that, with your main career, which is, like I said, going to sort out your retirement, your investments, and your savings, you know. So I kind of get the balancing act you have to now deal with.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd very much like to do that, but it's just not in my means yet.
Yeah. How old are you now, mate?
I'll be.
You have to think about it.
That's
a good question.
I'm 34.
34.
Right now.
So yeah,
I'll be 35 September. So I'm not young, but I'm not old.
So you're kind of in a good spot, you know, but because a lot of guys are kind of turning pro and maybe winning pro shows at maybe slightly older, but they've been competing for 10, 12 years. You kind of haven't. You've just gone. So why did you really? You kind of started a bit late, really, because you haven't been competing for 12 years. You've just kind of come in, bang, successful, and you're away.
Yeah. So I turned pro at 25.
Oh, well, okay. It was 9 years.
Yeah. So I turned pro in 2014. So
okay.
I had a very promising career ahead of me. Like, once again, I just feel like, obviously, like, things happen, but, like, you know, when I did my first show at the Francois Classic in 2014.
Wow.
Which I believe was May 10th. I won, you know, I won one novice, one middleweight, one overall. Then we went to USA's, which was July 25th and 26th. It was a 2-day show. And that was exactly 78 days from the 26th. From May 10th, and one middleweight won my pro card. But after that, that's when all the surgeries happened. So I didn't make my pro debut from 2014 till 2021.
Wow.
So if the surgeries never happened, who knows? Because I remember, like, you know, because Derek Lunsford came in 2015. That's when he started to bodybuild his first thing, and I'm like,
welterweight, wasn't he? Welterweight, and then, you know, by 2017, that's when he really, you know, made his move.
Yeah, I was at, I'm not sure his first show, but his first, like, national show. He did, like, it was like we were in Charleston because my buddy was doing it, and he wore the purple trunks, and that was then, and he looked good. And then when he tried to do USA's. And at the time, like, I was going through surgeries, and, like, I heard from multiple people, and even still today, like, people say that, like we look similar, like we look like we could be brothers or something.
Yeah, I'm squinting now. Like, I can see it. Yeah, you could definitely be a stunt double.
But yeah, so at the time, like, everyone kept saying when he was coming up, like, there's someone that reminds me of you.
Yeah.
And so, like, he was coming up, and it's like, I know a time has passed. But, like, and then he became who he was when I made my debut. But maybe if I never got hurt and all stuff, like, who knows? Like, maybe I could have been the current Derek Lunsford if I had 7 more years. But, like, because, like, when he did USA's, his first one, he lost to the guy who took 5th place to me. And then the next year, he lost to the guy who took 2nd place to me. And then he finally won his pro card. So, like, I know it's not there, but, like, at the time, like, you know, when I went to USA's, like, I should have got disqualified, I feel like, because I did I'm left-handed, and I was the first one who registered, and they do things, like, I guess, as you register. So I was the first one in line. I was really nervous, and I did all my quarter turns to the left, not to the right.
Did you?
because that's what they like. To me,
Yeah.
since I'm left-handed, everything, if I'm not thinking, everything's to the left.
Okay.
Because that's me. So like,
Okay.
when I realized that I was turning the wrong way, and they said quarter turn, I'm looking at everyone, and everyone's looking at me, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then I just look around, I'm like, oh shit, I'm going the wrong way. So like, I feel like I should have been disqualified, but like, I still won. And the feedback was that like, no one was even close. They're like, you won the show without even needing to flex, really. Like at that level, like it just,
Yeah.
you won. So I keep thinking, like, people say, like, yes, I went pro at 25 and there, but like, maybe I could be Derek Lunsford right now if I never got hurt. But then he came in, and so it's like, he lost a lot of people that I destroyed. And then as his body got bigger, and also like now, I mean, once again, like I can't compete with him. I still need some more size. But you give me back those 7 years I was dealing with there. I don't really like. I made an Olympian body in 3 years.
That's incredible.
Like, and I remember like when Nick Walker made his transformation, he posted on his wall. Everyone freaked out of like his 8-year transformation of how he went from like this kid, and then like people around here, because they'll call me Nick Walker because apparently I guess I look like it, but like people have like, dude, like your transformation from a kid to 3 years, like you literally made the same transformation. What took Nick Walker 8 years, it took you 3 years.
Yeah.
There's like, so imagine, and like, it's not, and people even say like, like with enhancements or whatnot, they're like, even with what you take, it's still almost physically impossible to have done what you have did.
Yeah.
So you give me 7 years with the ability of my genetics,
but
I don't know what I could really look like if I pushed it hard enough.
But that's kind of all that you are here where you are now.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're kind of mid-40s coming back and you've lost those years. Like, say, Kamal did. I mean, there was 4 years when he could have been competing in the 212 and doing great, but he lost 4 years. But that was in his mid-40s, early to mid-40s. You're 34. That's still very young. You could still have a good... I mean, they say a good pro career, I think, personally, is 10 years. I think if you can have... so if you're in your second year to 2021, you could have another good 7-8 years of improvement. I mean, to be honest, it's also, do you struggle to make weight, or do you look your best at 210 when you weigh in? Is that you just as you are?
So we're like right on the cusp.
Right.
So like
okay.
We struggled to make weight at the Olympia because my scale was wrong. So like I guess it wasn't calibrated right, like like the traveling, moving, putting it on the ground, like so like I didn't eat or drink food for the 16 hours before weigh-ins.
Oh wow.
So that's like maybe that's could have what screwed up my whole look. But like we thought we were overweight. It was like we make weight. But then Justin, my coach, he went to the gym in my hotel room, the Hilton that we were at, and then like they had a scale apparently, but like while I was trying to make weight, because he was messing with my scale, he came back and realized, because he was going back and forth, the one when I was in the hotel, he's like, your scale's 3 pounds off.
Wow.
So I could have been eating.
Yeah.
And,
so you probably lost a bit of your pop, mate. You lost a bit of your pop, so you didn't look flat. Because the thing is, you're a big guy, so you got a lot of muscle to fill out.
Yeah.
So how tall are you, mate?
I'm 5'4".
5'4". Okay. But personally, I mean, I think with the amount of muscle you've built to the point in your career that you're at, I kind of do see you going open in the next couple of years. I do. No, the way, if you're telling me what you've done in 3 years, really, you're going to be robbing yourself if you don't go to open in probably 2 years?
Probably, yeah. I mean, even this prep, like a lot of comments on my Instagram and messages, people didn't think I was going to be 212 because they were like, they saw how lean I was in off season at 235, and they were like, dude, they're like, I don't think you're going to make weight.
You don't look. If I saw photos, I'd say no, that guy's an open. I mean, if you look at like Haddy, Derek Lunsford now, the top two at the Olympia, William Bonac, and guys like that. I mean, you've got the kind of, like I said before, you've got the muscle that an open guy has, not the 212.
Yeah. I just wish I see it. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, man, I look like men's physique.
No. Look at the photos seriously, and then look at the videos and see how you compare to everybody else, because you don't. Yeah. You look like the odd one out.
All right, yeah. I need to go back and look, because I feel like from the side shots, I can see what people talk about, like from the side, like how thick you are. I feel like from the front, like I feel like just in the front, like it doesn't show. Like I feel like other people look bigger in like the front double bicep pose like that, but when I turn around on the side and you do like the side chest or the side tri, you can really like, that's when I can see the density that I have.
There you go.
Yeah,
there's you side chest. I mean, that looks like an open. That looks like an open guy. Hey, look, can you see it? Is it okay? Yeah. Is it? Yeah, left. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's because I wrote about you. And thing is, I wrote this column. The deadline was right before, 2 days before I flew out for Vegas. And I thought, it's too early to talk about the Arnold. I can't talk about the Olympia because it hasn't happened yet. And I've got the deadline to write before I go. So I had to write about what I thought was going to happen at the Olympia. So I did a bit called You All Slept On. And I put you, Keon, and Charles Griffin as the three guys, as like, these are the guys you didn't really see coming in, doing damage and making an impact at the Olympia. And thankfully, all three of you delivered. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So that was to go out on a limb like that with somebody who's never, in his rookie, his first Olympia, thing is, mate, you didn't just make, like I'm saying, ninth is a very good starting point for you at your stage in your career, regardless of what happened and whether you could have been 7th or 8th, or, it's still a very good starting point. And also, don't forget that this was probably the most competitive Olympia probably we've ever seen in terms of numbers and quality.
Yeah, that's like, it was deep lineups.
Yeah.
So it's like, there was like 30, 36, 212 guys.
Wow. See, that's not bad, mate. It's not bad.
Yeah, and then once in the place 9th, once again, I mean, it's like they're like, hey, like I'm 9th in the world. Like it wasn't like I won some off show that no one showed up. Like to say that you placed top 10, I mean, is clear to say that you deserve to be on that stage.
Oh, yes.
So it's not like, like I just, happened to get them the point system or won some show that no one showed up at. So that kind of like solidifies, like, I am a true Olympian. I didn't make it to the Olympia stage. I am a real Olympian.
Probably.
And there's.
Sorry, I'm just thinking. You're probably the only guy in the top 10 at the 212 that was his first Olympia.
Yeah.
Correct.
Probably. Debut.
Yeah, I think so. If you went, I'll have to go and check, but I'm guessing that you were.
So yeah, so I guess like when you get rid of the human effect, like the emotions, everything else, like. When I go to bed at night, I am proud. Like when I sit in bed like that, like I'm top 10 in the world. Like that is it's a warm feeling inside. But then it's like the brain kicks in, the athlete kicks in, and like, no, you shouldn't be happy. You need to get higher. You need to work harder. So it's like that thing that drives us. But like when like I know deep down, like. If I didn't make top 10, because that's like I expected that like hands down.
Yeah.
So if I didn't make top 10, I would be very, very disappointed. And like even though I say I am, I'm not, because once again, it's to say that you're top 10 in the world at anything, you should never be disappointed in yourself. But it just comes down to the fact that like someone like who is an athlete and someone who dreams to be a champion. That's it. Like the champion. I don't care if I'm 3rd, I'm going to come on here and tell you I'm disappointed in myself. I want, until I am the last one standing, I have something that I need to do. And so it's like, that's just the athlete. And like, even like Nick Walker and else, like, when you know that you have greatness to give, then when you do anything that's not greatness, like being top 10 in the world is great, but that's not going to make you a legend.
But it's okay to feel both. Like, let's take Nick Walker, for example. He's moved up from 5th to 3rd at the Olympia. He wanted to go and win the Olympia. So for him, in one respect, in one hand, it's a disappointment, but in the other hand, he can say, well, I've moved up from 5th to 3rd in a more competitive Olympia. So you got to kind of, you got to take it as it comes, both sides of that, really.
Yeah. And then also in this case, too, like, even though you took 3rd, you still beat last year's Mr. Olympia.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. You got to look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, you beat the previous champ. So there's more reasons to be like, once again, like to not be disappointed in yourself. But, I know him, like, he wants to be Mr. Olympia, and until he is, he won't be satisfied. And I'm the same way. Like, I'm happy with myself. I am, but deep down, it's just like, I want that final spot. And I'm hungry for it, and that's it. Like, and I'm going to keep driving for it. But until that spot is not mine, like, I we have two different personalities. Like, he's going to say it to existence. He's very confident. Like, also, I'm not saying I'm not confident, but like, I don't have that. Like, I'm not going to go on Instagram and be like, I'm going to win. I am this. I'm going to do that. Like, I'm a very quiet kind of guy. I'm not going to sit there and just like say stuff. I say stuff until it's like concrete.
Yeah.
And there's a debate on this, like people being like, you should believe in yourself. You should be like, I am going to be Mr. Olympia. And like, I do believe that, but I'm not going to just go on the record or make my Instagram profile like future Mr. O.
Yeah.
To me, I'm just like, no, until I am Mr. O, I'll put it there. But like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm a future world champ. Like, because it's just like, I just like, I don't know. I'm just like more like, you talk about things when it's in history, not a dream. And so like, once again, now you can still believe in yourself and do all that, but I just don't believe in the talking aspect of like, the more you say it, you turn it into an existence. Whereas like my whole career, people who've known me, like I've literally gone to end every show. Like even like when I won USA's and won my first show, like I told Justin, I was like when I did the Francois Classic and everyone was like, dude, like you literally just walked in and won the show. Like that was like when I did the show, they pushed me off to the side. So like they called first call and then pushed me out.
Yeah.
And that I didn't know what was going on, but they were like, you already won.
Yeah.
And you were a distraction. So if they kept you on stage, they couldn't judge 2 through 5 because you were such a distraction. So they moved me out and then other things. So it's like in my mind, like at that show, I wanted to leave. I wanted to walk out. I was saying to Justin, I'm like, I don't think I look my best. And he's like, but you're going to win. I'm like, well, I don't think I look good enough.
Yeah.
So I was just going to walk out. And he's like, are you crazy? He's like, and then at like USA's, I'm like, I don't deserve to be here. I'm like, I wasted my time coming here. And then turns out there was no one even close. And I just won. And he's like, it's not that like there, but it's like, I won't speak in existence. Now, after I won, I'm like, I won it. But like up until that show comes, I'm just like, man, I didn't work hard enough. I should have more detail in this shoulder. I could have done maybe my cardio a little more, like instead of leaning forward on the Stairmaster, I should have stayed up.
Not holding on to the railings when you're doing the incline treadmill. All going through your head.
Shit like that bothers me. I'm like, you know what? Like 1 week out, I was too tired and I had to put my arms on the thing. I'm like, you know what? I don't deserve to win. I should have just not touched the Stairmaster and gone through it because that's what a real champion lived on.
That's the mentality of champions. I mean, I've seen, I remember once there was a Scottish bodybuilder and I was doing a photo shoot 11 weeks out from a big amateur show in the UK. And he stripped off and I went, wow. I said, you look 3-4 weeks out. I've never seen this level of condition at 11 weeks out. And we went to a cafe afterwards and I got him a coffee and it had milk in it. And he goes, no, Giles, I can't drink that. I said, oh, you don't have milk? He says, no, I like milk. He says, but if I drink that in 11 weeks' time, I'll be stood on stage knowing that I could have done more. I could have done more. And that this was back in 1998, and it just blew my mind, that mentality, which I kind of guess you need to have when you want to be the best of the best.
Yeah. Like, once again, you can be it, and that's what like people tell me, like, around here is like, the whole way is like, maybe that level of mentality was needed for you to have the pro career that you have, to have gone pro in 78 days, to make it to Olympia at the 5th show of your whole life. They're like, but like, and other people call you crazy, but like, that saying, I forget who has said it, but like if there aren't other people in your profession calling you crazy, then you aren't working hard enough. And I've had other pros look me in the eyes and call me crazy. And honestly, and someone told me, like, that's when you know that you're doing something good, when you're the best, and the other best people are calling you crazy. There's a reason why you went pro in 78 days and they didn't. There's a reason why you made Olympia in 5 shows and they didn't, because you are crazy, because they're not willing to do what you did.
Look what, I mean, I do a show with Ronnie Coleman, and he said, like, when he lost that 2002 GNC post-Olympia show to Gunter Schlierkamp, he's like, okay, he basically knew that he couldn't take time off after the Olympia like he normally did, and he had to basically train a way that nobody else was willing to train. The places that other athletes he knew wouldn't be able to go to for the full year to come back, he says, in his own words, go to war. And then he came back and he basically did, you know, took the whole bodybuilding thing to a whole new level because he had that mindset.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And it's needed. Like, when I just, like, I'm the same way. I know not everyone's the same, but, like, I just, once again, like, if, like, you're trying to be the best in the world at something, like, you can't half-ass anything. You have to take whatever you're doing to an extreme where it seems like it's crazy. Like a little milk. I remember like back when I was getting ready for USA, someone wanted to get me sweet green, like a unsweet green tea from Starbucks, and I don't want it. I'm like, no. I'm like, he's like, dude, there's no sugar. I'm like, but like there's stevia. At the time I was like, no, I don't know what that stevia is gonna do to me. And they were like, it's stevia, bro. They're like, I was like, no, like, don't. I'm like, I'm not drinking it. I'm like, do not give me the green tea with stevia. I'm like, I don't want it.
I mean, like, I was talking to Clarida, and he was a few weeks ago, and he says, my leg workout to 3 hours. Like, it's like, I said, wow. I mean, people would probably look at him going, that guy's crazy. I mean, but he's doing it every single. Right now, we're getting very pushed for time, so I really want to. Obviously, now you're living in Columbus, Ohio. I'm assuming you'll be at the Arnold Classic.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I want to get your take on what this, because there's probably 5 or 6 guys that could win this, and I want to get your take finally on who do you think's going to do what at the Arnold Classic. Come on in, Brian. Give it to me, mate.
All right, sorry about that.
It's all right.
If you if you ask me, like, I truly like Sean Clarida's physique. I know a lot of people talk about like the size, all that stuff. I don't know. Like, if you ask me, I really believe he can win it. It's hard to say, but like I think to me it's gonna come down to Nick Walker or Sean Clarida in top 2.
Do you know what? I said it a few weeks ago on this show. I said, you know what? I says, something's in my head that's going to be the final 2. And I'm rooting for guys like Samson, Andrew Jack. I've had them on. You know, you got, I've just got a Bonac. You know, I'm rooting for Bonac to make a return after the Olympia. But I've just got this funny feeling that's going to happen.
Yeah, and not to like, I'm not like, you know, shitting on anyone else. Like, once again, like, the most potential, which we can all agree on, is Andrew Jack and Samson Dauda. Like,
100%.
They both have the most potential to be 8-time Mr. Olympias. So it's just Samson has to get a little, like, once again, he is Ronnie Coleman. It's like Ronnie Coleman's downfall was that he didn't know how to dry out right. And when he did, he was unbeatable. Like, Samson just doesn't have that crispness yet. And once he finds it, he will literally be unbeatable. And Andrew Jack has that crispness. He has that detail, just needs it from the back. And once he can get that done, he could be unbeatable. So it's like, they're good, but like Sean Clarida, once again, like, I know he's only 180 pounds, but like, if you keep things relative, his physique looks bigger pound for pound than Samson. So it's like, he has the size, he has the dryness, he has the conditioning. So it's like, he has everything. So if you're just going to look at, well, he's shorter and he's smaller, okay, then I guess if that's your perspective, he's not going to win. But like, I'm not being biased because I'm in 212, but it's like, you keep things relative, and a relative physique, like pound for pound, he's got the best physique on the stage.
We're not, and thing is, for people, you said before, it's like, you know, the size thing with Clarida. we're not really talking about, they're not really talking about size with Clarida. It's height that they're saying, oh, he might not win because of his height. It's not his size, because like you said, pound for pound, he's probably bigger than Samson. He's probably as thick as Nick Walker. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, really, I mean, like, if you actually, you know, pound for pound for per square inch, you know, he's probably, he's really up there, isn't he?
Yeah, so that's where, like, these other podcasts that they talk about it, and they just keep telling us, like, he just doesn't have the mass. I'm like, just...
Oh, he does.
He does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Like, it's like they're like, they'll call it like structural mass. I'm like, okay, like, yes, he's not 280 pounds, but bodybuilding shouldn't be about scale weight. You shouldn't even know the weight. It's just like,
that's right. Does
he look 280 pounds? Yes, he does. He looks the same size as someone is 280. So it's like, when you look at the overall picture, and bodybuilding is judged fairly based on pure relative results, I don't see why he wouldn't win. It's just, if you look at the same criteria, height per weight, per conditioning, per dryness, per separation, I think in my eyes he would be the front runner.
What about Kamal? Because Kamal, don't forget, was competing as a 212, but he's proven like within Tampa, he looks better at 220. So he's going to be better than he was at the Olympia because he's not 212 and he's now competing at his better physique weight of 220. So what about guys like that? And what about guys like Bonac? Everyone seems to be writing off, and I don't understand why.
So it's like Bonac's huge. But when it comes down to it, like, the reason why I would not place Bonac above Sean would be the sheer level of conditioning. So like, Bonac has the mass, but like Clarita's conditioning is better. I think his body just flows better. Once again, like, and then when it comes down, like, why it's not writing Bonac off, but when you look at the previous, let's say 4 shows, Sean's never off.
Yeah,
like,
he never. He's never been.
Bonac has been off a little bit here and there. He has different looks. He's come in fuller here, flatter here, drier here. It's like, where Sean does not have different looks. You pretty much, like, he's like Nick Walker. Nick Walker and Sean are, they have the same look. They're not coming in a little bigger here. It's like they're just dry, big, and separated. Yeah. It's the same look, just improving each year. Whereas, like, when you have that variation, like Bonac has variation, he could show up and be off. He could show up and be mint. It's just, he's not consistent in peaking, whereas Sean is. So, like, I would write off Bonac for that matter of, like, Sean just has that level of, he does not come in off. Yeah. He has the same amount of muscle as Bonac. He's drier, and he has more separation. So I believe Sean's a better athlete in that case. That's why I put him above Kamal. I guess, once again, like, he's a great athlete. I actually, if you ask me, I think he should have took second at the Olympia. Yep. I think he looked better than Angel. But in this case, like, if he does come in 10, 15 pounds heavier and look better, I just like he could do more, but I still think even with the more weight, he can't beat Sean. And even at the weight cap, like, it's like Sean's so much more, like, bubblier. He has that roundness, whereas, like, you know, Kamal could be bigger and look a little better, but I still he doesn't have, like, the bowingness of Sean Clarita's arms and legs and all that. Like, he just, like, Sean Clarita just bows outward because he's so round and compact. And, like, I think Kamal would have to be maybe like 240 to compete with Sean Clarita's just roundness and three-dimensionalness. So, like, it's not like I don't bring them up because I just don't see them being a threat to Sean. And it's hard to say what's like, and Nick being third best in the world, you kind of put them side by side, but, like, I don't think Kamal being heavier or Bonac being there, I don't see them beating Sean. I don't, on my professional eye, on what I think the criteria of judging a show should be, I don't see them even being in a conversation to beat Sean. Yeah. I think Sean's physique is just that good. And yes, he's 108 pounds, but like weight doesn't matter. It's a look, and Sean has the look.
That would be, imagine how, if he did win it though, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? It would be. I mean, that would just be incredible. That would be like, wow, okay, this guy's, wow. He's already incredible. Yeah, the real, I mean, I can't even get my head around it, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, and then that would, like, once again, so like, if he were to come in and win it, and he does beat Nick Walker, that plays him, since once again, the last year he lost to Derek, that would place him at, like, you're looking at, okay, that he would be third in the world.
Yeah.
So then, you know, like, so, because, like, you know, until he can beat Derek Lunsford, it's like he would place him behind Derek, and Nick was there, so, you know, he would become the true third person in the world, and then Nick would be fourth. So yeah, like, you know, if Sean wins this show, it's gonna cause a lot of ruckus in the pro world. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be like there, but like I think he deserves it. You know, Sean has an amazing look.
Brian, I'm sorry to cut this. Well, not cutting this short because we've been talking for ages, but it's been great. But I've got Milos literally in like 10 minutes. Okay. So I didn't even talk about it because we didn't even get to talk about your surgeries and all that. Because obviously, I know that Ron covered that in Ronline, which was because I read the story and it blew my mind. So maybe we'll have to get you on another time and we'll have to go through that and talk about, you know, what you had to overcome there to really, you know, to be able to even function and, you know, and achieve what you've achieved, mate. It's absolutely incredible. Really is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
Go over my 7-year hiatus.
Yeah, exactly. And we certainly didn't struggle for conversation, and that's always the mark of a great guest, mate. So thank you so much. I'm glad I finally got you nailed down and finally got you on, and we did this, mate. So Bryan Balzano, thank you so much for coming, MD Global Muscle, mate.
Thank you, guys.
All right, have a great day then, mate, and enjoy lovely sunny Columbus.
See you guys here soon.
All right then, mate. Take care then, mate.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, guys, and welcome to episode 18, season 5 of MD Global Muscle. And Lauren, would you please speak?
Hello.
Yay! We got the mic sorted. Yay! So I've got to say, as soon as we did that little test there, Jen was right. It is better. It is better having that mic there. And it was actually surprisingly simple because we had the mic. I actually realized in one of the wardrobes I had the stand, so I didn't need to buy a stand. So, and just needed the cable, which Derek, our tech guy and good friend of mine, helped me set the studio up. Oh my God, I love Derek.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Derek. Actually saved the day. So, yes, I'm absolutely over the moon. So, guys, you can finally, I'm sure you're watching now on the live YouTube chat, and I'm there typing away. You can stop bloody nagging me. Because, Lauren, honestly, I've had so much shit from everyone, you know, so we get to hear you. And also, sometimes when I was doing Hot News and you'd be talking, sometimes I'm hearing you across the room and I got the headphones on, I couldn't actually hear you. So you were talking and I wasn't being rude. I wasn't, you know, oh, I've got no excuse now. So yeah, Lauren, so thank you so much, and it kind of feels like I've got a bit of a co-host now for MD Global Muscle Hot News, so yay.
No worries. I hope you guys will like what I have to say.
Yeah,
like it could be good, could be bad, we'll find out.
So cool. So I've just got to stop fiddling with the mic, Giles. So yeah, so I'm absolutely over the moon, and I'm sure Jen is. So Jen's currently going yay in her office. I can see it now watching this. I can visualize it now.
Yeah, we hope you like it, Jen.
Yeah. Oh no, you're talking too much now.
Oh, sorry.
Right, okay then, I'm going to get straight into it. Like I said, these hot news are a little bit more abbreviated now. One, because it's very late and Lauren's got studying and I've got lots of stuff to do. I've got to get editing this show because it's quite late now. What else was that? Yeah, it's basically, yeah, so of course, and we'll come to the Power Hour. I'll talk about that at the end. But yeah, so anyway, we're going to get straight into it. Obviously, one of the guests I've been trying to nail for a very, very long time was Bryan Balzano, 9th place in the 212 at the Olympia, 2022 Olympia. His 5th ever show. That is incredible, isn't it, Lauren?
It's amazing.
Oh, it's so cool. I'll get into this. Yeah, I like this. Right, okay. Yes, and he won the Indy Pro last year, who's 4th place the year before. And unfortunately, because we were talking for so long, I didn't get a chance to really talk about, because he turned pro in 2000, was it 2015? 2000, I'm sure it was 50.
You said 10 years, so 2015, and then Derek came on the scene in 2017, and that's when he makes progress.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because so he had this serious medical issue, something to do with his how can I word it? Anal. It was that area that had to be basically reconstructed, and there's actually an article that Ron Harris wrote about it in Muscular Development. Go a few issues back and check out, and it tells the full story there. Really good, because Ron actually spoke about it in great detail on an online report, so maybe you can search for that. And if you want to find out more about what that guy went through, which basically, I mean, how long did he say he was in hospital for? It was months, wasn't it? Or
I think he said he was out of the gym for 2 years.
So he's out of the gym for 2 years. So this guy really went through hell. But what's the guy? Oh, E18. Oh, there's another guy that had a serious medical, but it just what I like about it is that bodybuilders, they go through these literally life-changing, sort of accidents and, and sort of medical issues, and, and the fact that they come back and they get back on stage is an achievement within itself, but they come back, they win shows, and it's just, I think it really tells you a lot about, it's a very positive thing about bodybuilding, I think, about the, what they can overcome. And, I've heard of people, I've been told they wouldn't walk again, or they wouldn't be able to train again and stuff. And then they go, and 2 years later, they're all winning bodybuilding shows or turning pro or whatever. So it's, it really tells you a lot about the spirit and the dedication and the determination of pro bodybuilders. So anyway, this was the my God, he wasn't being, yeah, because Lauren, that's him in 20. Oh my God, looks so different there. Look at him there, 2014. Wow. So obviously had this medical issue. Then 2019, he basically drank red wine like I did. And so that was in 3 years, 2019 to 2022. I mean, isn't that incredible, Lauren?
Yeah, it's really, really insane.
I mean, he literally looks like, I can't even say he looks like men's physique there, because he doesn't even look like he's got any muscle
he's
there.
Not men's physique.
No, I'm saying you can't even say he looked like men's physique. Do you see what I mean? You with me?
Yeah.
Come on, Lauren. Come on. We got to fight to the finish now. I know we're tired, but we've got to fight through to the finish. But look at that, and look at his quads. Honestly, he was so impressive at the Olympia. I think his back needed work. And just talk about the sheen, because I think he's still a bit sore about that, which is understandable. But this is how he looked at the Olympia. I mean, here's a top 5 guy waiting to happen. Look at those legs.
You know what I will just say about one thing with sort of
the sheen looks good there. Sorry.
It does. It looks really good. I like his tan. It's liquid sun rays. But I do wish that with all of his sort of I have a pet peeve with tans. I wanted them to tan his face, so to at least match his color, because I think this will come with experience, because we got a good insight into his show history, where he's done 5 shows in total. 5 shows in total. I mean, you can forgive the guy for ever having any inexperience or lack of experience, or things really like tan or sheen, or not knowing that you can go back and insist that they have to get it right. You can forgive him. But look, I mean, 5th show, I mean, that's just, and he lost a few years, I mean, he's 34 though. He's looking good at 34. This guy could have, certainly for the next 10 years?
At least 5 years, 5 to 10 years. This guy's destined for open.
Oh, he's fantastic, and he'll only just carry on improving.
Like I said in the interview with Brian, in terms of overall thickness and muscle density for a 212, he's up there with Angel Calderon and Sean Clarida. I mean, he really is. But I mean, there's a guy that if he's looking this good so early on in his pro career, I mean, another year or two, and he's going to be at the 212, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, super impressive. So, I mean, he didn't actually say what his next contest is, because obviously he's not going to be going back to the Indy Pro, because there is no more Indy Pro anymore. Why'd I call him Dane Bowers? That was
it's Mr.
Dane Bowers. Dave Bowers.
Mr. Dave Bowers.
But I was saying I had Dane Bowers, and that was a pop singer, wasn't it, in the UK? Dane Bowers, remember? Probably before you were born, love. That's when I was, oh God. bit of an age gap. But yeah, so just have a quick look at other pictures of Bryan. Yeah, you can see there the back needs a little bit more thickness. But I mean, my God, this guy's. I mean, I think he could be top 5 Olympia this year. I mean, he could have been top 5 Olympia last year. Could he? Yeah, he could have been. But super impressive. For me, I was really excited to see him as well at the Olympia because I like these new faces. I remember watching the live stream. We watched the live stream together for the Indie Pro early on last year. And he was so impressive. I mean, so much density. I mean, look at that. I mean, there's not many 212s. Yeah, look at the legs. He reminds me a bit of Jonathan Withers.
Yes.
You don't know who Jonathan Withers is?
No.
Maybe we don't need the mic. Totally caught you out there. But yeah, it's great to see new guys like this coming through. And also got a full-time job as in a bank. What did he? Because I went to the bathroom and you had a chat. What you talk about is.
So he is a mortgage underwriter.
Right. Okay. So he's got a full-time job at a bank, and this. So this guy's trying to. Looks like Flex Lewis there, doesn't he? Hang on, squint. Because he said looks like people say he looks like Derek Lunsford. I mean, that's if Derek Lunsford and Flex Lewis had a love child, isn't it? That's basically what they would come up with. Sorry guys. So it'll be interesting to see what Bryan does this year, whether he stays at the 212. I could see him, I think he'll be 212. Look at his legs. I mean, they look very Flex Lewis there. Very Flex Lewis. I think he's got more muscle in his legs than Flex Lewis has.
You can't keep him in open for in 212.
Yeah, I mean, if he's progressing this fast and he's literally come out of nowhere.
It's a beautiful quad.
I know. I mean, even look at the way the hamstrings come down, the lines. I think if he improves his back, I think that will put him out of the 212. I think another 1, maybe 2 years, absolutely maximum, if he's really careful and he really kind of sucks it down to 212. I could see him being a top 5 guy this year at the Olympia, but I think next year, 5'4". And the thing is, now you've got guys like Hadi Chopin, Derek Lunsford, William Bonac, who've proven. I mean, literally, they're top 2 in the top 2 at the Olympia. Derek and Hadi, shown that those guys around that height can be competitive, because that was kind of the whole reason that 212 was really brought in, for the shorter guys who maybe weren't getting as fair a look as the guys who are taller. But I think with the success of Sean Clarida now competing in the Open, being successful, winning the Legion Sport, you have, like I said, Derek and Hadi 1 and 2. I mean, how tall are they? Like 5'6", 5'7", maybe maximum. X212s. So I think Bryan, maybe 1 to 2 more years, I think he needs to jump up to the Open. I think that's where his future lies. But I mean, thing is, if he goes and makes top 3 at the Olympia in the 212 this year, obviously assuming he's going to be there, then really maybe he'll want to hang around and just trying to do what Flex Lewis did and keep his body weight, down, so he can basically keep rising in the 212, because here's a guy that could win the 212 Olympia. I mean, look at him there next to Sean Clarida. See Sean Clarida. I mean, even when you see him next to someone as thick and as good conditioned as Bryan Balzano, you just realize just how. I mean, look at Clarida's legs.
Yeah, they look. Oh my gosh,
he's incredible, isn't he? I mean, I love Sean Clarida. I'm such a huge fan. Kerith Baggio as well, another guy to look out for in the 212. He was 7th place. Was he 6th? No. Keon was 6th. I believe Kerith was 7th. And then Bryan was 9th. There's Kamal there, who says he's not doing 212 anymore. So a lot of changes and a lot of going on in the 212. A lot of guys moving up to Open. A lot of guys trying Open, like Sean Clarida. And a lot of new faces coming in. So I think the 212 class is going nowhere. And so I hope to God it doesn't go anywhere, because I do like the class. And even though there's a lot of guys jumping over and trying their hand, I think there's still a lot of good competitors that would suffer without having the 212 class there. But look at his glute, my God. Oh my God. Yeah, see the back needs more, doesn't it? Back just needs a bit more going on, like it does everywhere else. The delts, the arms. I mean, he's very complete. But like I said, a bit more back. Oh my God. My God. You could clean your clothes on them. Like what they called, like a scrubbing cheese grater.
Yeah.
Cheese grater ass. Look at Lucas Coelho looking at him saying, damn, bro. Yeah. Here's another guy as well in the 212 that's, I think there's a guy to watch as well. So anyway, yeah. So like I said, fantastic. They're 9th place, 5th of a show. I only see Bryan Balzano moving up in the 212 in years to come for however long he wants to stay in the 212. And quick, there's his lady there, obviously. Unless it's I don't think that's some random woman he would post about. So, they look like a nice couple, don't they? So yeah, very busy guy, training, got a full-time job, and he doesn't have any sponsors. So he kind of hinted at that in the interview. So I would imagine here is a guy that is on the radar of many supplement companies. Because surely if you've got a supplement company, you want the guys that are professional, that are going to represent, your brand well. He looks smart there, doesn't he? Looks cool. Yeah, looks very cool. So he does look like a hybrid of Derek Lunsford and Flex Lewis, though.
They look like they could all be cousins.
Cousins, yeah. Not the Utah cousins. Sorry, Jeff. Right, anyway, so we're going to go quickly on to Milos. I feel bad that I haven't had Milos on in so long, but he's that busy and he's that in demand for podcasts and what he's doing with his new supplement company. And I don't like to bother him too much because I feel like he won't say no to me, so I don't like to, do you know what I mean? But you love Milos, don't you?
I think he's really cool.
He's cool, isn't he?
Yeah.
You met him as well at the Olympia, first time ever. So are you getting emotional, darling?
No.
Oh, you just.
But you learn so much from Milos.
Yeah, I do, and I like him. I think he likes me because we get into debates and we I don't disagree to be disagreeable for the sake of it. I do it because we have our own strong opinions on what is basically a subjective sport, and I love our conversations. But like I said, I love Milos's social media. He puts a lot of time and effort into it, and you know what's crazy is the fact that he's got all these videos that he took on, or people in his team, or friends or whatever, from all the shows he did. They come on with they've got camcorder footage from sat in the audience from all these shows, and he did 110 pro shows. That is amazing. So this is the one he was talking about. Lauren, I'll tell you what, if there's a pro show you ever wished you'd gone to, this was one. This is two guys making their pro debut. Can you imagine when these two guys walked on stage?
That's beautiful. Beautiful bodies. That's
Paul Dillette, the 92. He won the 92 North Americans. You had Flex Wheeler had won the 92 USAs, and they were both making their pro debuts. I'm sure they were training partners at the time. Look at that. Can you imagine when these guys were rookies, Lauren?
I am a fan of this body type.
It's crazy, isn't it? And in Flex, I think he got like £10 off 2 weeks later. Then he won the first Arnold Classic at £218. So, yeah, absolutely amazing. So go check out Milos's social media if you're not already following, because it is incredible. He gives so much information. And if you're a fan of the 90s bodybuilding, or a new fan to bodybuilding and want to find out about the guys from the 90s that, you'll probably keep hearing about how great this era was. It was, trust me, take it from me. I started following in April 1990 when I was 13 years old. I wasn't even 14. And started buying all the magazines, and it was an amazing time to follow the sport. And Milos goes right through it. He has camcorder footage never seen before, and he puts up the results. So puts all the contest results up, and then he the last time Kevin Navarone beat Ronnie at the 1998 San Francisco Pro. Then after that, Ronnie went, to hell with this. I'm going to level up, and no one's beating me again. And they didn't until 2002. At the GNC Show of Strength when Gunter beat him. So Gunter was 9th here. But look at Kevin, man. Kevin was awesome. Kevin's actually my all-time favorite bodybuilder. And if it wasn't for Kevin, I might not be sat here right now doing what I'm doing, talking to you lovely people, you lovely viewers. Love you all. That's a story for another time. I think I've told it many times before anyway, but if you haven't, basically Kevin was one when I was 18 years old, day after the British Grand Prix in 1994, who encouraged me to start writing and photographing for bodybuilder magazines and go into the bodybuilder media. 28 years later, here I am in my, was it 29? No, 95 I started. So this is my 28th year, if you can believe that. So, absolutely credible. So, like I said, 833,000 followers, and Milos hasn't bought any. That's incredible. But he puts effort into it, you know? And I think there's a lot to be said for people that really put time and effort into what they create for their social media posts. And so go check him out. It's like following a magazine. Do you know what I mean? It's like getting a magazine. Do you know what I mean? You know,
all about bodybuilding.
Yeah, all about bodybuilding. Oh, it's so cool having your voice here. So cool. I love it. Right. Yes. One of your better ideas, that Jen. I apologize for taking so long and dawdling. All it needed was a freaking cable. Doy.
So thanks, Jen.
Yeah, thanks, Jen. And like I said, and I get to hear everything you're saying, even when you're dissing me. So you can't mutter under your breath anymore, dear, when you're complaining about me. You wouldn't do that anyway, would you?
No.
No? Okay. Right. Anyway, this was the picture Samson Dauda posted that I was talking about.
Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez. This is Samson 4 weeks out. Now, call me, this, as I said in the interview with Milos, conversation with Milos.
Quads look like flames.
They look like flames.
That looks like fire.
Yeah, but to me, that level of separation and conditioning is pretty much not far off what he had at the Olympia on stage. Am I seeing things, Lauren? Come on, Lauren, speak to me. You got a mic?
His legs look incredible.
They do, don't they?
They look absolutely incredible. Like way better than actually for me than at the Olympia.
Because it's hard to tell, isn't it? But for me, like,
beautiful.
I mean, maybe he had that level of separation at the Olympia, but he's 4 weeks out. I mean, he's not in the final. A lot happens in those final 4 weeks, doesn't it? So tells me that they're going for that extra. I think 5% better condition Samson at the Arnold. I think that's.
I think Milos brought him in full for the Olympia, so he's going to want to bring him a little bit sharper for this particular show, especially if he's going to go up against Sean Clarita, who is, crazy conditioning.
True.
So that's my opinion. But with Samson, he's trying out different looks. He's got to find that sweet spot, and then he'll be unbeatable.
I hope he beats Nick.
I know you have a thing. I know you have a thing.
You're a Nick lover, and I'm posing. I mean, well, let's just say, apparently I'm a Nick hater. Okay. I don't hate anyone.
I know you guys cannot see me, but oh my God. Okay, if Nick Walker is watching this, I'm just going to say it right now. Nick, your routine, like your performance or whatever at the Olympia, it was like rock star level.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay. It was cool.
You love Nick. I love Samson. So let's see them fight it out in a few weeks.
No.
But I think a slightly sharper Samson.
Yes.
For me, if he doesn't beat Nick, then there is something wrong fundamentally with bodybuilding judging.
I personally
there, I said it.
Body type in terms of what I like with the look. I like Samson's look more, but I can appreciate Nick's look. But the expression in the performance was like boom.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. It was just so Samson needs to bring his fire legs.
I tell you what. Something just occurred to me. If they want to look for a new Black Panther.
Oh my God!
Do you know what? I mean, he's tall. He's arduous. The thing is, like, if
he
someone
would make such a good superhero.
Just imagine, right? Just say someone like Samson got a call and they said, "Look, we're looking for a new Black Panther. We can give you 6 months intense acting lessons. There's $6 million for the acting role. Will you take it? And if you can go through all the fight training, but it'll mean that your bodybuilding career is effectively over. What would you do if you're Samson? Like literally, like become the new Black Panther.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda. Have you seen that yet? Well, we haven't seen it.
Look, I'm just gonna say, like Arnie did it, and he became governor of California.
Yeah,
imagine if Samson did it.
No, but I'm saying if like where Samson is with his career and everyone, he's just the man of the moment. He's one of the most talked about, hyped bodybuilders, and rightly so at the moment. What if you got that call one day and he had that part pretty much guaranteed, but you knew that you would either have to take a couple of years off or a year or 2 years, 3 years, or maybe completely retire from bodybuilding competitively, what would you do?
If he became like The Rock, I think I know which way I would choose.
Really? No, but I'm not saying The Rock. I'm just forget about it. Forget about him. He's
Samson, but you know what I mean? He would be catapulted to The Rock level. And then he could probably do more for other parts. I don't know.
The thing is, if you're putting a price on it and it literally is, and he became that character, which would probably get like a 5-film deal. I mean, we're talking very hypothetically, but I just wonder what someone like Samson would do if say, that opportunity was presented to him, say he had he'd done some acting lessons and he was on some books of some agents or something, and they said, look, we can, do you think he'd even, I like.
You know what? I don't know, but maybe, I think Samson would first do the bodybuilding.
Yeah, but but if he knew he had to take, say, 2 years off right at this critical moment of his career.
No, he would do the bodybuilding.
You think he would give that up?
I think he would first do the bodybuilding, and then he'd be like, listen, I'm here in 5 years' time.
Lauren? Oh, look, he reposted it.
And he'd still be massive.
Hang on.
So
he reposted it.
Oh.
I didn't realise he'd reposted it. Listen to this.
You need to turn it off.
Hang on. Basically, I posted this. I didn't realise he'd actually reposted it, Samson. I swear we did our very best during Samson Dauda's visit to Tiger Towers to recreate our own unique take on the Nigerian Lion King, guys. We did try picking him up, like the Simba, with the like you said, in that picture there. But nope, Samson over 300 pounds just was not happening. No, sirree, Bob, sorry.
Maybe Samson can do that to you.
Hang on, it got 1,354 likes. Oh. Should we read the comments?
Yeah.
I didn't know we posted this. Hang on, why can't I get the comments?
Yep.
Bollocks. It's not coming up. Hang on. No, it's not coming up. But so anyway, it's just a silly post I put up. But like I said, I had no idea he'd repost this. Lauren, okay, I'm going to show you something now. And I'm going to get your reaction. Okay. What does this represent to you?
Let me just have a look.
Where does this represent?
Oh, it's Muscleworks Orpington Brandon Curry event.
Lauren, you've got a mic, so do you want to tell me why this is so significant? This what I've just brought up here. So
this is where Giles and I first met.
It was. Hang on, it was literally there.
Hang on, let me see if I can see you.
No,
I'm sitting.
Lauren.
I'm sitting on the.
What are you talking about?
Who's this person?
This is Samson.
Oh, this is a different event.
Oh my God, this isn't the actual one. This is 2 years later. No, 3 years later. And so much has happened since then.
Guys.
Oh, it looks huge, doesn't it? It looks huge. So, yeah, come on, Lauren. Come on, explain.
Yeah, okay,
so
this is where Brandon Curry came to Muscleworks Orpington, and Giles, he was hosting the Olympia All-Star Tour. And
Mike, go stay close to the mic. Come on.
And I met Giles for the first time.
Yay. Basically, you handed me a phone and said, can you take a picture of me with you, peasant?
I did not say that. I've never said that.
In my memory tells me you said that. You said, you there, you. You clicked your fingers at me.
No, I didn't.
And you said, you take a picture of me with Brandon. And the thing is, somebody actually filmed that. So our first moment of meeting for the first time is actually on camera. So how sweet's that? Yeah. Should we play that at the wedding one day? Do you know what? I know it sounds like a funny thing. Hasn't Samson got kind eyes?
He does. Yeah.
He does, doesn't he?
He's got kind eyes.
Look at that. I mean, there's a man he's on a mission. I mean, it's so nice to see kind of what is happening for him right now. 4-year deal with Hostile. And do you know what? I was going to message him today, but every single interview he does is better than the last. And I must have interviewed Samson, 10, 12 times?
Yeah.
At least, in the last few years. Look how happy he is. He's getting paid for this as well. Do you know what I mean? He's someone who's really, really embracing, and you can see that he's enjoying and living every moment to the fullest with what he's doing. And the thing is, who could not be happy for Samson, given where he's come from and all the things he went through with the pandemic and all that, and his grit and his ability to just keep going. It's someone said on the comments last week, they said, I'd have loved a big brother like Samson growing up. And you know what it makes me, and I put a comment underneath, and you know what makes me realize, it's like we need really as many good role models in this industry as we can get, isn't that, and Samson he's just that, so I just, it's nice to see someone like that, leading the way, not just for bodybuilding, but for British bodybuilding as well. We've got a lot of great athletes, but it's nice to see one of the best guys and one of the coolest guys. I think what I'm trying to say is we're just happy for his success and where he's going, and we support him. And like I said, it's nice to see him getting 4-year contracts with Hostile. With sponsor had him, when he literally was on his ass. He'd lost his job and everything else because he was traveling he was stuck in Korea competing, and And then obviously, his partner, so they've really struggled, him and Marlenka, but she's been there from the start and they've supported each other. She believed in him. And now look what's happening. So, and like I said, if he wins the Arnold Classic, it'd just be absolutely phenomenal. And also he's guest posing at Pittsburgh as well. So that'll be good. So I'm guessing these two will actually steal the show. I don't think Derek Lunsford's guest posing this year. I'm not sure. Hang on, who else is? Oh, Chris Bumstead. Oh, no, Chris is not guest posing.
It says guest poses. Samson, Dauda, Nick Walker, Derek Lunsford, Hunter Labrada, special appearance, Chris Bumstead.
He's not guest posing.
No, special appearance.
Yeah, special appearance. So maybe his bicep's still healing. But I think I've got a feeling. I'm going to make a prediction. Oh no, Derek, Samson, and Sean Clarida, they're going to steal the show. No disrespect to Hunter or Nick. Well, that kind of does, isn't it? It does sound a bit like I'm dissing them a bit. Anyway, okay, I'll move on. So that'll be very, very exciting to see. And one quick final picture. This is, can you just believe the improvement Samson's making from one show to the next? It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, he looks good, man. He looks so good. And he's got good calves as well. A lot of black guys don't have good calves, So it would really spoil his physique if he didn't have good calves, I kind of hope he beats Ramy, because I feel like he should have beaten him at the Olympia. And I feel if Ramy looks kind of similar to how he did at the Olympia, which I'm kind of predicting, because I don't think he can get much better than he did at the Olympia, because I just think his physique is starting to slide. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but there. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, like I said, we had Samson last week, and I just wanted to show that. Quickly, one last thing on is the sad death of. He was an open guy, moved to Classic. I saw him compete at the Arnold Classic. I think it was 2019. Is Lee Banks, 51 years old, passed away from complications from carcinoid syndrome. I believe that was cancer. I saw in another post. But really, really sad. He was a fantastic bodybuilder. And obviously, condolences. And our heart goes out to his friends and family. So, because I actually thought he would be one of the guys that might make a comeback and do the Masters Olympia. And then his name popped up, and sadly it was for this sad news. So, very, very sad news. I mean, cancer's, we've all, it's pretty much who watching this has not had some family or friend, family member or friend, be touched by cancer. It kills so many. It killed my mother last 2021. And it's just brutal. So, very, very sad news. Okay, then I'm going to go to a new Instagram account called The Pro Hosts. I don't know who these people are. Lauren, do you want to tell us about this?
Hi, you guys. So,
Hi, you guys.
So, Giles and I are, we do the hosting. Oh my gosh, I lost all my words.
Come on, speak, woman.
Do live stream at various shows, and Giles covers a lot of the guys section and I cover a lot of the ladies section, and together we make the perfect couple team, which is what we are. So we decided that we're just going to put all of our hosting items onto this one Instagram channel called The Pro Hosts, and you'll notice the little graphic there with the red little O, because that's the dream. That is the dream.
Clever. See the Olympia red, see what she's done, because Lauren does all the graphics. Helps me up with the thumbnails, a lot of Global, and obviously Buff Bombshell, her show as well. And
which will be coming back in late March.
Yes.
But I am currently studying for a very important exam. So that is why I have gone a bit MIA at this moment. But you will see me again with
action.
All of the lady stuff again soon. And maybe with some of the guy stuff. Because I tell you what, men's physique, you need more props.
Okay.
I love it. Anyway. That is The Pro Host on Instagram. Yeah. We'd really appreciate your follow. Thank you.
So basically, we started this to advertise the fact that, because the thing is, when 2021 we went to, was it the August NPC European show? It was the Milos show. And I said, Lauren, could you just so I've got somebody to bounce off, and talk, because I'm just sat there by myself. And I feel like I'm just, even though I'm talking to people watching the live stream, I'm not really, I like to have somebody there. So I said, come in on one of the classes. She came in on one of the classes, and I was like, no. And after the second class came on, I said, no, Lauren, stay. Please stay. I said, because this is really good. And, and I realized that you're actually very, very good on the men's classes as well, because you give a different perspective. And it just works great. And now we're in demand for a lot of different events. We've done Romania and Prague and, Romania. basically we're going back to Sweden as well to do the for the NPC Sweden show, and of course we go as a couple. We have a nice time, and also we do we cover all the categories, and it's we have an amazing time. So it just made sense that we should really offer ourselves out as live stream commentators for anywhere in the world. Really, I mean, I'll travel to bloody Australia if they want us there. I mean, and the thing is, it's nice because we get to travel to all these different countries, meet new friends, and kind of network, and kind of and get out there, get out of this beautiful studio, as lovely as it is.
And we love bodybuilding.
Yeah, well, I do.
It's brought us together, so
true.
That's been a big thing for us to share it with the world.
True.
So thank you.
Yeah. So so thank you. So like I say, follow the Pro Host. No gaps. And like I said, if any promoters want to book us, then you just need to contact us through this hashtag drop the mic. Don't drop the mic, please. We've just got it set up. Right. And also, like I said, just quickly, I want to give another plug, of course, to the Power Hour. This was the live one we did last week, which is out now. Well, by the time you're watching this, the new one will be out, which I recorded on Friday with Ron Harris and Jose Raymond, where we talk about the 212 category, and it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, me, Ron, and Jose, I love talking to those guys so much. They're so cool. And we basically talked about everything about the 212. We went off a lot of tangents, and we talked about Mount Rushmore of 212. And I put some cool questions to Ron and Jose, and it was just fantastic. So go check that episode out. And yeah, guys, and that is it, really. So I'm very, very hungry, Lauren. I can hear my tummy rumbling. And thank you so much for coming in on the mic. And thank you to myself for sorting, and Derek, and also Jen for the idea for setting the mic up. So I'm really, really glad we did that, because I was dragging my heels on that a little bit, not gonna lie. And also check out the latest issue of MD, really, really good one. Got a lot of stuff to write for the one next this week, so I can't divulge. And that is it, my friends. Okay then, please do not forget to hit the notification bell and to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next week for more MD Globe Muscle. I'm Giles Thomas with my co-host, lovely, lovely, lovely Lauren Lotter, and we will see you next week. So, guys, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting, and we are out.